Gurps. So you guys, the party, just to recap last session, you met with Carmen and had a long conversation with Carmen about what you believe the best path for Penrite going forward is, and you decided ultimately that the best decision would be to unify with Western Penrite in some capacity and bend the knee to House Weller and swear fealty to the Western Steward. You guys also had a little conversation in which Tariq revealed that there is a second prophecy unique to the Westerlands, and that there is some doubt into the validity of Madharari having the name Madharari, or like being the true Madharari according to what the Westerlings think that name means. And then Graham raised some doubts as to whether or not as to whether or not you guys should be awakening the God Emperor, but that's pretty much been resolved, and the party is now making their way back to Naren the Baron's Keep. To what fucking time is it?
I think
4:30.
I think it's mid-afternoon, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, cool. Okay. You're arriving just in time for dinner, and you will presumably the party will presumably be discussing with Naren the fruitful results of your meeting with Carmen. I, as the game master, anticipate that by the end of this conversation, you guys will somehow be loyalists, or we'll create a secret fourth faction that's like, let's make Graham king.
You can't hate
just judging from how the rest
I
of
thought
the,
you were
of
gonna
the
make a
session's
serious.
done.
I thought you were making like a serious claim, and I was like, "What is Naren about to pull out of his ass?"
You can't hate authority if you are authority.
Like, can you guys imagine if you sat there with Naren and then I was like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna have the party be aligned with all three factions at one point within this arc. You guys know Naren, he's like, alright, so I've made my decision.
The good ending is just to
loyalists.
like take a fucking like a piano string and strangle Naren and just let the cards fly as they will.
Why specifically a piano string?
I've been playing two.
Wait, why are we siding with Naren?
We're not yet. I don't know.
Well, you are.
What the fuck is
Unless
that?
you guys
Here's a
decide.
timer.
I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. Anyways, you guys are. And
Guys, we could leave Penrite right now.
With what?
We don't
We have
have
nothing.
With no supplies.
you guys
we'll
could
make
totally leave Penrite right now and be like, you know what, this is taking too long.
I think it'd be
we need to just go.
It'd be a really nice sentiment towards Jack. Be like, hey, you know all the work that we have as a party been trying to do with your story that you wrote? Well, fuck you, asshole. I just want to continue west. Just want to completely.
What if we just like we went to Naren, we told him, and they're like, "Hey, Naren, we really gotta go.
All right, you know
Like
what?
you're holding up the prophecy with this shit. Let us go, man."
All right.
We like guilt trip him into giving
Okay.
us supplies.
Okay. Does the party want to have any discussion before arriving to Naren's Keep? Alright, I'll take the silence as no. So, the party arrives, let's just call it 5:30. You arrive a little before 5:30 p.m. on this wonderful, hot, humid July evening, and have returned successfully to the Keep of Naren Baron. And you enter in, and you speak with one of the guards about, you meet with one of them and tell them, hey, we have a report to Naren, and you guys sort of retire back to your apartments waiting to hear back, and he says that he will dine with you. You get a messenger comes to knocks on your doors and lets you know that he'll dine with you at 6 in his like private dining quarters within his castle, and yeah. And so you guys have half an hour. If there's anything the party needs to discuss in private before meeting with Naren, because I remember listening back to last session, there were things that the party needed to talk about before talking with Carmen that ended up just being talked about in front of Carmen.
Yeah.
And Carmen was like, "What?"
So, I think that we
Hold
should
on.
discuss anything we need to discuss in front of Naren.
Wait. Ivan's not here, is he?
Where did Ivan go?
Check general.
Oh.
It's been like 1 minute.
I can't wait for in 5 minutes when we get the. What did I miss?
Alright, I'm back.
My favorite part of listening to the podcast is that Asher keeps all of those in.
Yeah.
Anytime Ivan interrupts someone or comes back and like bursts onto the scene, Asher just keeps every little. He did it again. Every little little blurb of Ivan, and he keeps just enough so that you know that Ivan did it, and then cuts away from it to like when we get back on track from it, just so you know it happened, but it doesn't actually disturb the viewing. It'll be like you guys will be sitting, you guys will hear Ivan go, "Hey guys, I'm back. What I missed," and then it'll immediately cut to after that. But he just keeps that in just so we know that it happened. And like just listening to the last episode today, it happened like 3 times in like a 2.5 hours span.
I typically cut it out
You,
because
Ivan.
the following 30 seconds are us yelling at Ivan.
Every time.
Like half of us would be like, dude, you've been gone for 30 minutes? Like,
No,
It's online.
it's
like,
never-
we're
it's
physically
never-
separated, so it's not as like
We love you, Ivan.
it's not in a physical space. But it's like equivalent to like if we were sitting at the table at like a like around a dinner table, like playing a TTRPG, and Ivan goes to the bathroom and walks back into the room, and that says, "You guys are back, what?" And then we're all like sitting at the table, like it was like. It's
Anyway,
online.
Ivan,
It's just
are you
because
here?
around this time is the time my parents like need help for like cooking and all that. So I get kidnapped for like a few minutes every once in a
No,
while.
that's fine. No one has an issue with you leaving for a couple seconds and coming back. It's always just the entrance that's the funniest part.
And it's funny. It's genuinely funny.
Look, I'm happy it's funny.
the only time it's not funny is when you were supposed to give an answer, and then we sit there in silence for 30 seconds as
Oh.
we wait.
You did message in general this time. We did.
Yeah, we did know this time, so we waited.
Okay.
But,
Anyways,
yeah.
Anything that the little quick group huddle before talking with Naren, because it's probably going to end up being what this entire session is, knowing how our conversations go.
Well, first of all, can we just do a quick, like, baseline, what is it that we want to say? Like, assuming that things go our direction. Like, what are we trying to do? This is half a recap, too, I guess, but...
Are you asking the GM or other players?
Everyone?
Other characters.
I was
Alright.
really tired at the end of last session. I do not remember the conversation with Carmen very well.
I think the plan. Let me discuss this as if this is what we all agreed on. This is what I remember we all agreed on. We're going to follow through with Carmen's plan, and us, me and Ivan, we're gonna try our hardest to lean the separatists with Carmen. If not, then that's fine. But I think we ended up wanting to go with Carmen.
I also got the impression we wanted to go with Carmen. I just wasn't sure how we wanted to present it.
Oh,
Oh, really? Because I was under the impression that only I wanted to go with Carmen.
I don't remember at all, so I'm
Honestly?
okay.
Yeah.
You guys
Party
are with
notes is
Carmen.
confusing.
You guys are
Pretty
with
sure
Carmen.
Wait,
That happened.
important information.
Mhm.
In party notes is confusing because my last party note was from our last session. That's what we agreed on.
We agreed on Carmen. Good. That's what I wanted.
Well, that's not what we agreed on, but like that's what happened last session. I forgot I took notes for that.
Carmen believes that.
Okay, then the plan as follows. We're going to be talking to Naren the Baron and telling him, hey man, we're starting with Carmen. Fucking enjoy it because we're gonna do it. And then I'm pretty sure the people who initially talked with Carmen have like a proposition to tell Naren. I don't remember because I wasn't there.
Carmen will meet in private. if Naron would be willing to stage a first meeting with Carmen, if he decides to align with her views.
And we're going to present this like probably matter of fact, be like, hey man, this is what we the prophecy have decided on, like definitively.
You asked for our help. This is the help that we're giving.
If you don't align with the meetings that we've already tried to establish, you're fucked.
Can we talk about the way that Jack's window is sending a fucking like beam of light directly into the camera?
He looks like
he
looks like a crooked little finger in the background, just like scheming and conniving.
It is actually the bright light of my imagination bursting from my skull as I create this imagined world.
Oh, be right back.
Okay. He's gone for this session.
Okay.
Alright, I think, man, I was just about to say something in character, too.
Oh, sorry.
No, just,
You
no,
can say
I haven't
stuff
led.
without Junior being there, it's not gonna be
Ah, okay, so, well, anyway, so we're in our room together, right? Like, small
In a
meeting room.
room. What are your rooms?
Guess we gathered, yeah. Thank you, motorcycle. Perfect timing. Shit, it's been actually 2 months since we've roleplayed. It's easy. Okay. I don't even know how to start a sentence, but whatever. Rogue's gonna bring something up to the party, because it's been on his mind for a little bit. You say, I've been meaning to ask you guys something. We've been in Penrite for quite a while now. I understand that maybe we should try to arrange some plans for moving further on once this is settled down. Can't tell if Jack's face is in agreement or not. He's staring into space, man.
Is that a question? Was that a general question?
Yes, that's a question in character I'm asking, yes.
No.
No, okay, so we're not moving on.
Wait.
Okay.
No, I don't
Wait,
see
whoa.
need to. Yeah, we should move on as soon as possible. Right now, we're trying to work out this so that we can.
Yes. Once.
What plans can we make without the money or equipment or means?
I would very much like to get to the Western Wall as soon as we can, but I am with Graham on this one. We're going to need supplies to travel there to the Westerlands, and once we're there, we're really going to be on our own for the first chunk. Before
Someone
we reach a
offered
town.
me a perfect job, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check out this because this is a great way to get information on how we could." Without money, transport ourselves safely, because they were doing a caravan, except it was a lie, and then I got stabbed and mugged.
Apologies, I think my question is misunderstood. I meant maybe we should start thinking of the idea of what we want to, so that when this settles and we figure everything out with Naren and the parties that we are dealing with, we can have a head start on figuring out what we want.
I mean, we already talked to him mostly about what's going to happen.
Yes.
We asked for Naren to give us an armored convoy for travels, because that's really the only way we could safely cross. So once this is complete and he has his power and he's satisfied, we ask for as much as we can, and we just make way on the Western Road.
Yes, I think that it makes the most sense to take that convoy through the Western Woods versus trying to sail down. Like, in terms of just, where we're going once we have the supplies, I think just beeline it for Cario, because if we go too far down, even though the water may be faster, we're going to have to go through Soother, where all the assassins are, and I think it's best if we just take what we can and get through the Western Woods.
Shit, we've only been here for 2 days. The sessions lasted months, so I feel like we've been here for years.
Yeah, why can't Gurps feel like a free run episode where we spend a year inside Penrite?
Because it's Gurps.
True.
It's my GURPS, and we move at a fucking turtle's pace.
Gurps is designed to be able to do something like that. It'd be nuts.
Okay, so let's say that there's nothing else we need to discuss then and go.
Ready to meet
Yes.
with Aaron Baron?
If you don't want it to take forever, let's go.
Ideally,
Julia,
when
if
Ivan
you
comes
have
in.
anything vital that you need to tell anybody, just message it in general or party notes, and I know not right now. I mean at any time.
But I don't. Right?
Please use party notes so that we know it's related to the.
Or even the online GURPS channel. I forgot we had that. Okay,
Big brain
So-
move right there.
gotta remember who Naren the Baron is, what his motivations are. It should all be up here somewhere.
He's a
You
Naren
guys-
named Baron.
It's
Yes.
really clever naming scheme, actually.
I was very proud of myself when I named him Naren the Baron.
Oh, I get it now.
The
'Cause
real
he's
bristle
Naren.
bristlebeard moment.
And it rhymes.
Cannot wait to. I'm really excited to meet Luke the Duke next.
Yes.
And then Mr. Jemperor, the God Emperor.
Hello, Mr. God Emperor. What is your name? See, many prophecies describe my name as Mad Harari, but it's actually Jumper.
Okay, so
Fuck.
6 o'clock comes. Knock at the at your doors, and there's two servants awaiting you, a messenger and some silent sort of like waiter servant type thing, and a guard with you. And the messenger looks at you all and bows lightly when you open the door. It says, "Naren will speak with you now. If you follow me, he will dine with you." And he leads you through corridors of the castle into some new room that you've never been to, and opens it up, and you see it's just a room with it's close to where Naren's bedroom was from when you remember when you visited him in the middle of the night, and he leads into this room, and it's candle lit, and it's got this like large wooden table set up in the middle with like carvings engraved into it,
It's a trap.
and 6
With
chairs
Gordon.
around this like circular wooden table, and you see carved into the middle of the table is a giant eye. And you remember, actually, Graham, roll heraldry +3.
Okay. What do I roll? D6?
3 6-sided dice.
Alright, I got this. I got this.
I think you have a heraldry skill, if I remember correctly.
Hey, Naren.
I
You
do.
ever heard of
I do.
Ben
Well,
Turner,
don't copy it. I was just
the God Emperor?
You trying to riz up Naren the Baron?
Hey, Naren.
Yeah.
I don't know where my R came.
Can I roll 6?
No R?
No,
Naren,
either.
how do
just
you like
slash.
my teenage body?
He ain't beating his allegations.
Wait. It's /R 3d6. We're so close. It's honestly, I'm forgetting the command too now. It's been so long.
With a space.
I don't. It's not working. What?
Just space.
What?
/R space.
You know what? You passed the roll.
3d6.
So you walk in and you all recognize that carved into the middle of this table is an eye, and it's the sigil of the royal house of Madhari. It's the imperial sigil, but carved into this table. It's the same eye that you saw that was on the banners of the. Thanks, man. It's the same sigil that was on the banners that were hanging off of the walls that surrounded Utar Kar and the tower itself. And you see that Naren is standing on the other side of the room, pouring himself. He's got this. I need to switch out of this Quinn rolling channel. He's got this like silver pitcher, and he's pouring himself like this thick red liquid into a gold like a goblet made of gold, and he turns up and looks at you all as you enter, and the door shuts behind you. The messenger closes the door, and you see that 2 guards are standing outside, and that there appears to be nobody else in this room besides the 6 of you. And it's pretty dimly lit in here. And Naren approaches the table, pulls his chair up, and sits down and sets the goblet down, and gestures out to it and says, "Please sit, the food is on its way. I hope you like roasted pheasant, and I have a peacock on the way. It'll be served within its plumage."
What is peacock?
Yeah, that
You said
sounds
that.
that sounds quite
Would not
delightful.
do shit like that.
Serving this hot.
It's
Not all speak at once now.
What part of the peacock do we eat?
the tail.
What?
You all
Where's the
take your
feathers?
seats and sit with Naren. And he eyes the 5 of you and says, "So, how were your meetings with Vern and Carmen?"
Super duper.
You heard that right. They were in fact super duper.
I am sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I'm getting absolutely fucking spammed with DMs right now. Just give me one-
Online Gurps.
I
I need
Ivan's
to
role
just.
playing.
I'm gonna put myself on Do Not Disturb. I think that'll solve it.
Why? Because I just
Um,
need to shut up.
Well, no, we need to know if Ivan's role playing though.
Yeah, but I can see it light up. So,
Oh,
Junia nudges Pierre with her
Me.
elbow after Naren asks this.
This is good. Actually, continue narrating that for the recording. Did she say anything, or she
You want me to,
just
say it
straight up
again?
nudge me?
No, she just nudges you with her elbow.
Okay, cool.
After,
Looks like I'm doing the one. I'm the one doing the talking. Okay, cool.
wait, they're typing.
It's nothing.
Junia whispers, "Sorry, I was folding something else. My apologies."
So Junia elbows you. Naren has asked you what the fruits of your meeting were.
We spoke with Carmen. It was actually a very thorough conversation. And we as a party sort of made the realization, and we've come to you with a definitive answer on who we think that you should side with and who you have the best chances with. And a lot of that, at the end of the day, sort of hinges on the fear of war and what are the best chances of the survival of the people of Penrite if war were to come. And I'm sure you could understand why separating from the east, if they were to raise their bannermen and march this way, we would only be, a target for them. And at least in siding with the west, we can align ourselves with a ally. And if war were to come, you would very easily be able to try to defend yourself and have time to save the people of Penrite. Now, all of this is if war comes, which we, as the prophecy, are ideally going to prevent. But, we think that the safest precautions should be for the people of Penrite, and as much as it would delight me to see an independent Penrite, I think we've all come to terms that this is the safest option for, first of all, you, and secondly, every, living person in East Penrite.
I see. You see, he sits and stops, and he's just thinking in silence for a while. And he looks up to you all. He says, "Forgive my lack of courtesy." He takes a sip of his goblet. Would you like any wine? And he gestures. He brought the pitcher over with him. He says, he gestures to the pitcher, and there's like some empty cups on the table.
Completely unrelated to the fact that he suggested that after we said what we wanted to do, I'm gonna politely refuse.
I'm gonna accept.
I'm not a big drinker.
I'll accept.
Seems my friend Junior here is absolutely dying for a glass of wine. Just bring the whole pitcher over.
Tariq
After she rolls alcoholism. Sorry.
Tariq just doesn't have a taste for alcohol yet, so he's gonna decline.
Child.
Tariq is he's 18.
By the way,
In medieval times, he may be able to drink, but nowadays...
Junior has requested
Junior,
two pitchers.
Aaron stands. Junior and
know.
Pierre. Junior and Pierre. Roke, did you what did you say, Roke? Did you want it or not?
It's just no.
hold on, Jack. I have a question, by the way. You had mentioned this before, so I'm just clarifying now. We have seen Naren with his right-hand man. I forget what his name is, but we've seen him. Is he in this room?
Would you like to roll perception?
Yeah.
But look around the room.
With an unknown modifier.
So he's not obviously in the room.
Well, because
Okay.
I remember he was hiding in his bedroom. Not hiding, but he was standing so
Oh, that's
perfectly
right.
still in darkness.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
so I
I
think
have
Jack,
a
the final head-
success of what is that? 5.
Pierre. So Naren stands up, and he walks to the other side of the room. And he grabs 2 empty goblets and brings them over, and he sets them in front of you. He sets one in front of you, Pierre. It's this golden goblet with like sapphires, like engraved within it. And he sets one in front of Junia, and it has like rubies engraved in front of it, a blue one and a red one. Or they're both gold, but the color's the gems. And he pours the red wine into it, and as he's pouring, and as his back is turned, particularly as he's getting the cups, and as he's pouring Junia's cup and looking away from you, you quickly start scanning the room, and you see in the corner, standing next to a bookshelf, there's a candlelight that is casting a shadow, or a candlelight that is causing the bookshelf to cast a shadow over his personal guard, who is standing silent as a statue. At first, you almost think it's just like a stand to like put armor and weapons on or something, or like decoration. But it's you see that it is a living, breathing man standing silently in the shadows of the room.
Okay, cool. Is he is he fully armored, like with his weapon at in the sheath and stuff?
Yeah, he's got full plate armor and he's got a sword and sheath, just like he did when he was in his bedroom.
Are the other
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Are the other guards that are like here? Are they also armored or no?
They're outside of the door.
Okay, so there's no
Only
one.
the 7 of you are in the room.
Okay, cool.
I think guards should probably be armored. I think that's not that abnormal.
No. But I'm just making. I'm
Mhm.
just getting some details here.
You already accepted the drink. You gotta drink it now.
Oh, I'm not backing out of this.
Dude, Junior's about to down like
Kill
two of
two
these.
players. Campaign over.
No, yeah, you're definitely dead.
You'd like to Junia, as soon as Naren finishes pouring her drink, takes a big swig of the wine, and it's
And dies.
it's delicious, and licks the rest of it off her lips after finishing her swig, and seems to be fine.
Can I take a sip and make a roll? I'm just checking something real quick.
You have
A part of
poisons,
me
right?
wants to say
That's
that we're
exactly
just
what I was about to
paranoid
say.
about
I'm pretty
this.
sure poisons.
Roll poisons. Yeah,
Why are we rolling poisons? Someone's dying?
to identify them. I'll explain after he makes the roll.
Success of 0.
You don't. So you take a sip of it. It's strong and fiery, and there's like this warmth as it flows down your chest. You realize you are operating on an empty stomach. It's been a long day of political intrigue and organizing and whatnot. But you don't identify any taste that would be abnormal of a wine, and you definitely don't taste anything that through all of your years of studying poisons and practicing poisons, you know that some of them leave a distinct taste in the drinks that they're put in, and you don't identify any of that.
Yeah,
Except
Pierre.
for alcohol.
Pierre has a subtle sigh of relief.
Alcoholism.
And just continues drinking.
So, Aaron sits back down. And looks up. All right, now that some of us at least, have our drinks, I guess we should discuss what to do next. At least what your role in this will be. So we are to bend the knee to the Wellers. I agree. That is probably our best bet. I don't know much about this Carmen. But if we are to align with her, it would do both of us good to meet her in her camp. So, I suppose I can do that. It would be nice to speak with her first, though, just to see her myself, lay my own eyes on her.
Yeah, no, she has already agreed to meet you as long as it's within her.
Within her camp or a neutral place, I think she said.
Let's see. Could one of you deliver her a message?
Oh yeah, sure, I can do it.
He looks to you, Graham. All right. He stands and returns. He walks over to there's like a wooden desk somewhere in the room against one of the walls. He walks over and you see he pulls out a roll of parchment and a quill and dips it in some ink, and he bends over the desk and begins writing. And you're all just sitting, and it's like tensed up, like eyeing each other, remembering you're all sitting in this tense situation, all eyeing each other in complete silence as you just, silence except for the scribblings of his pen writing over the parchment on the wooden desk. And he turns to you and walks over and says, "Don't." You see that? Actually, before he walks over, he rolls it up, parchment, and you see he pulls out like some wax and heats it over with a candle, and lays the wax on the parchment. And you see he reaches within like a shirt pocket of like his jacket, like his fancy noble jacket that he's wearing, and pulls out like this little steel, it's almost like a ring that he's not wearing, and stamps the parchment with it. And you see the sigil of his house, which, let me double check what that is. So he walks over with the parchment and
it's a heron.
It's a rat.
Offers it to Graham, and Graham, you take the parchment and you see this like dark green wax, that has been actually it's black wax that has been stamped with the sigil of House Heir 2, which is a which is a rat that has a dagger stabbed into it. And
Awesome sigil.
right, and he's the killer of the plague, man.
Ashley's
And-
crying right now.
He looks you in the eyes, Graham, and says, "Deliver it tomorrow. I
Okay.
need to think on some things and meet with my advisors. But it has the location of where I'll meet her.
Deal.
Don't lose that."
I bow.
He winks at you.
Nah, I ate it right in front of him.
Oh.
Yep.
Man,
You're
I
the
can,
meme of
make myself,
the animated guy running over and grabbing the thing out of his hand and eating it.
I could definitely make myself richer if I stole that little seal thingy. No, not the letter, the seal.
Steal it
The seal.
from out of my stomach. Yeah, good
If
luck.
I steal his seal, then I can make fake letters in his name.
Yeah, just wait a couple hours.
Hi.
You know where he keeps it now. If you want to try and pickpocket off
My
it.
stomach.
So he sits down again, and you hear a knock at the door, and he looks up and he says, "Well, I suppose the food is here." And he calls it like, "Yes," come in." And the door to the room opens, and you see like half a dozen servants pour in with all sorts of plates and platters, and they set plates with one of them is walking around setting a plate in front of all of you, another one is walking by setting out several forks and knives and spoons, and you see there's a giant pot of some sort of stew is set down and opened, and it's steaming and smells of all sorts of exotic spices, and there's all sorts of vegetables and potatoes and meats inside of it, and you see this roast pheasant is set down, and you see carried over by two servants is this like cooked peacock that has like all of its exotic feathers sticking out as on top of the plate as they set it down in the middle of the table, right on top of the eye that is this sigil of Utorikar, and all sorts of different the generic like hot bread, fresh bread with butter, and salts, like collections of salts and peppers and spices for you to put on your food, and potatoes and whatnot, all sorts of just like giant meal fit for probably 20 people, let alone the 7 of you, or actually the 6 of you. I forgot the guard's not eating. And Aaron looks up and thanks the servants, and the 6 of them leave, and you see that he begins you notice curiously that there's usually at feasts like this, people like servants cut the food for you and serve you the food, but he has them all sent out, and the 6 of you are left to serve yourselves the meals as you have to like reach over and cut meat off of the peacock and off of the pheasant, and serve yourselves portions of the stew and whatnot, and passing things around the table and all communicating, and you all get yourselves a nice hearty portion of this meal.
Hey,
What's
yeah.
he eating?
You say party portion?
Hearty.
Party.
I like that.
Party portion. What's
like
he
party
eating?
portion.
What's
Two of these.
What's Aaron eating?
Yeah.
He's going for the peacock.
I definitely want to try
He cuts off.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah. I don't think any of you have had peacock before. Maybe. Actually, I don't really know.
No.
Even in the north, I don't know. It'd be really expensive to import a peacock.
There's no way I had peacock before.
And he's definitely he gets himself a little bowl of stew and a piece of bread and all sorts of. He's getting a little bit of everything, but he goes after a lot of peacock, and he pours like this thick gravy over it, and he plucks one of the feathers out of the plumage off of the plate and like sets it next to his plate.
Okay.
Garnishing
He
is
plucks it off, and he looks at the 5 of you and says, "It's good luck when you eat a peacock to take one of the
when you
feathers."
eat a peacock feather. Okay, I eat one of the feathers.
No, he doesn't eat the feather. He just picks it up and sets it next to his plate.
Junior also decides to grab some peacock and just a feather for the fun of it, and proceeds to strike up a conversation about with Pierre right after just picking some food. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it for a bit. Why do I have a male voice now? I was thinking about it for a bit, and we could attempt to spin this to the sovereignists in a pretty simple way, actually. We all know the West is relatively a lot weaker than the East, yes? Seeking their help in having both of them fight would give the remaining Penrite exiting the entire conflict a lot easier environment to get its independence on its own. It would be relatively easy to simply kind of, I don't want to, but if we lie to them that Naren plans to get independence after seeking Western help, it could help.
I mean,
Don't forget that Aaron's in the room, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he's right next to He's right next to her, but like he's busy eating. It's the perfect time to like just chat to only Pierre.
I mean, I think...
Oh, are you like whispering this so that he doesn't hear?
Well, if he pays attention, he'll hear. If I want to hear his opinion on it, if he wants to as well.
I'm just making sure you know that he's in the room.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think we should convey any misleading information to Vern and the Separatists. I feel like... I mean, Vern, when I told him that a war is coming from the East Bannermen, he said maybe, now's not the right time. And I have a sneaking suspicion if I tell him that we're also not supporting him anymore, that he'll either drop all causation or maybe he'll send a few worthy rallymen our way. I don't see a way where we could morally make this, turn any more in our direction. Personally, I don't think I want to. They'll make their decisions.
Naren looks up. He's gonna speak. He says, "Yes." He's like half his mouth. He's like still chewing like a little bit of like particularly chewy portion of the peacock. As he's speaking, he's like, "I would love to see an independent Penrite as well, obviously, but if the God Emperor is Awaken, probably won't happen, right? Alternatively, if all the gods forbid it, but if you fail on your quest and the God Emperor is not Awoken and this war inevitably begins, even if we win and the West defeats the East and South, the fervor for independence would probably dissipate in victory, right? We've just met the need of the Wellers and had arguably the greatest military victory in Penrite history.
Probably like Eslandri history, man. You guys.
Oh no, that's not what I'm talking about. Doing tricks in our bite. I simply mean if we're able to gather more support, even from the sovereignists. What happens after doesn't matter. What matters is what's coming, and the present is going to happen. Meaning, even if we do stuff like that, the situation obviously will change. However, if we're able to count on immediate support, when it matters is when, preferably, it would be...
I don't think we, the Prophecy, or Naren should make any false promises.
Yes, Naren agrees.
Well, as you said, the fervor for independence would probably die down after.
Yeah, but still, like, it gives causation for them to rise and be like, hey man, you said that we were going to secede at some point in the future. Why have you had no plans to do that?
I suppose.
And let's say Naren actually quite enjoys being a part of the West and doesn't want to succeed. Well, then he will have to either go against his wishes and against his better judgment, or lie to the public.
Sounds like, though, you have interest in... You established contact with the Separatists, correct? I was told that you spoke to all of them, Pierre. Perhaps it sounds like you're interested in convincing them to support them and support me in my decision to wholeheartedly endorse her ideas, as I've always intended to do from the beginning. He says that last part jokingly.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely I kind of need to have a conversation with Vern. He already sort of almost leaned out of the equation when I had mentioned the prospect of war. He specifically said the words, well, maybe we shouldn't succeed at all, and it's not the right time. Maybe aligning with the East. And, I don't see the conversation of... I do suspect a small following of the Separatist faction may actually agree with your decision to side with the West. Specifically those who follow Arlo and his close followers. I could see a future where they support you. But outside of that, I feel like a lot of those men have pretty strong convictions, and I don't exactly expect them to rally behind your cause. Given I could be there for hours and weeks and years conveying to them why this is a good decision. But I think at the end of the day, they'll be very happy with staying neutral in the matter.
Do you think they could be a problem?
No. But if you're worried, we could always figure out a way to make sure they, I could figure out a way to make sure that they don't cause any issues for you. Maybe, if they mention it, because I understand that there is a following within there, that want to see you dethroned, possibly beheaded. It's definitely a considerable number of people. They didn't win, fortunately, at the popular vote. However, the understanding that they won't be siding with the Separatists may lead them to, possibly cause issues for you. My understanding is if you can promise them some of their demands as workers, because most of them are just simple folk. Specifically, if we can promise them a more prosperous economy and possibly a safer environment as a whole, as I'm sure you're aware, West Penrite certainly looks a lot nicer than East Penrite nowadays. You could potentially kill tensions, but once again, it's something I could very well talk to them about and maybe negotiate.
One of the main issues was double taxing, wasn't it?
Yeah, double taxing.
My guards told me that they decided on their leader through an election in which they held a roll call, going through everyone's names, and they recorded votes, correct?
Yeah, yes they did.
Do you know if they recorded the voting record of all of the names that they called out?
Yeah, no, they had a list of everyone, and they recorded who they voted for.
Do me a favor. He looks at Pierre and also to Junia a little bit. When you meet with Vern and the Separatists, find me that list. It may
Why?
prove valuable.
Oh.
You were saying that there's an alignment within the Separatists that wanted to see me beheaded, and that they may be a problem. If in the future that proved to be so, having a list with the names of your enemies would be very valuable for us. With the names of our enemies.
We'll do our best.
Right. With the done party notes that he asked for that.
Yep.
We're never getting out of 10, right? We're gonna be here for 60 sessions. We're gonna have a whole session just Pierre and Junia like intrigued, excited. Should we do that?
It's perfect. It's perfect timing, honestly. This because I'm eating like a chicken burger, which is pretty much peacock.
Okay.
Honestly.
So, you guys are eating.
Hmm.
Is there anything else Naren needs to say to y'all? Oh, yes. So, we're learning recovery. You guys have like half eaten your meal by now. He's been trying a little bit. I assume you would all like to know how I envision your role in this whole project.
I would be appreciated.
So, like I said when we first met, I require the legitimacy that the prophecy brings. Right? You are agents of divine intervention. You are agents of the divine God Emperor, who everyone so fervently worships. Your voice carries far, and the influence you have is more than you may think. So, I will essentially make bureaucrats or politicians out of you, in which the five of you will need to publicly advocate for me and for Carmen and for a unification with West Penrite, easing of tensions, and ultimately advocate for swearing fealty to the Wellers.
With all due respect, sir, shouldn't we be moving on with our journey? If we want to have any chance of stopping this war in the first place, getting to the God Emperor as fast as possible would probably be the best idea for us.
The issue is that by the time you return, Rick, I may be dead. War or not. And
Oh.
Josephine here.
We can say what you need us to, but we can't stay to be a failsafe for you to keep you safe. We do have.
I don't ask that of you. All I ask is
And I think I think that we're fine then. Then that works along our lines. We can discuss it, but
I will have you out of the city as fast as possible. Like you said, we want you on your way to prevent this war and wake the God Emperor, so he may do whatever he intends to do once he ends his centuries-long slumber. But
don't open that can of worms.
I cannot give you what I have promised until I know that I am safe in my position, until I have sworn fealty officially to the Wellers, and perhaps once I've met with Garth Tarlin and discussed terms. Yeah, here.
I'm only bringing this up just in case it comes up. Something was somewhat mentioned, and feel free to clear this up, people who actually met more extensively with Carmen than I. But we don't actually know what Garth Tarlin's gonna say. The worry is that you may not have equal power to your lordship as the Duke over East Penrite. And, you know, obviously the goal here is to retain as much, if not more, power than, you know, where you started. So if that does come up, do we have a contingency if Garth Tarlin basically either refuses your rightful claim or, you know, asks of you to take a lower title?
Garth is a feeble and lazy man. He's craven. I don't see him being the issue. I don't see him laying any claim to my lands, or posing any obstacle to this. Right. If anything, I'll be adding a new barrier between him and the oncoming armies of the East. Right. After this, I intend to meet with my counselors to begin drawing up our message that we will send by raven and by horse to ensure that it will reach Cario quickly, to inform them of my terms if I am to bend my knee to them. By the way, Rogue, do you want to mention the plan that you mentioned to Carmen?
Maybe, but Darren's kind of saying scary shit. It's gonna make me think we're gonna be in here for 60 more sessions for actually. But yeah. Well, Naren, speaking of your putting yourself as a barrier between the oncoming armies in West Penrite, I had an idea, if you would like to hear. Obviously, if you side with the Wellers, bend your knee to the House Weller, the House Esther is going to march straight through here. And a concern that was brought up between us, all of us, was that he was just going to totally stop and destroy East Penrite for basically betraying him. But what if you didn't tell him? Yeah.
He nods his head and thinks about it for just a few seconds and says, yes. You see, you can just see behind his eyes the gears turning as he's looking around the room, looking up at the ceiling, even he rubs his chin a little bit, scratches his nose. Yes.
Why do you keep looking at that bookshelf, Naren? What's over there?
My thought was maybe that if the West Penrite was starting to get overwhelmed, they would be unexpecting of an attack from, or a defense really, from East Penrite at the same time. And
perhaps this requires... You see this cunning, almost evil smile spreads across his face. He says, perhaps I need not alert Garth or the Wellers at all of my intentions.
Agreed, because alerting, making a decision of any kind is going to make the plan susceptible to being leaked, I suppose. They might find out from someone other than you that you have bent the knee to Weller.
I mean, alternatively, you have some minor talks.
I will establish contact with
Yeah,
Thailand
you establish
and
contact, and simply you revolt.
have a line of communication between the two of us. He's just thinking. I have lots to think on. Is there anything more that the five of you need of me?
If I understand that you want us to fulfill your request before you provide us with aid for traveling further, but is there anything that you cannot provide for us so we can prepare ourselves before our journey? Such as maybe food or money or stuff like that.
He looks at the table and gestures out and says, I think I've been quite generous in the food I've been providing. And the quarters.
Sorry, I think you
What
missed
about
that.
other
But for
resources?
the rest of our journey, we just want to be prepared for after our request is filled and we're able to travel west. What we can't get from you.
Thinking
I
about
don't
some of
know
the more
what-
exotic pieces, such as people, livestock.
What?
No, am I saying this weird?
Yes.
What? Are you
so
asking for rations?
yes, like, are we gonna get? I'm asking, like, we're gonna refill his request, right? He's gonna provide us with like a caravan and shit to
Yes,
start
I
crafting
will.
after we're done.
I will
Right.
provide you all that you request.
Okay, thank you. Just want
I
to make
believe-
clear that before.
My understanding from when we first spoke was gold and
Wasn't there?
armed soldiers, and hey, you were there.
I thought I wasn't. Couldn't remember. I was still in the tavern.
Quinn was in there.
I was there.
Graham was definitely there. Graham was actually doing the most of the talking that day, believe it or not.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I remember
Quinn,
it.
but it was Graham.
I remember.
Our agreement was gold and armed men and wagons. Men from my household guard.
There's wagons in the forest?
We should give a Neuralink
not
to
the
Ford
wagons.
and a Neuralink to Quinn, so Quinn can sync up with Ford's mind to remember everything about the campaign from Ford's perspective.
And then my apologies, man.
Sync Quinn up to Ford's mind. Who knows what horrors Quinn will
Quinn will be dead within a day of a
be
seizure.
unleashed.
Ford would be dead.
So yeah, just the both you just
Ford
explode.
couldn't handle it. Ford could not handle it.
My apologies, Naren. I was not doubting you in any way. You see, it's only been just 2 days for us, but for me, it's been many, many months.
It's felt.
Yeah, when you guys first got to Penrite, like, the first thing that happened when Naren spoke with you was like, "Hey, there are 3 factions. I don't care which one we side with. I'm fine with any of them. But whatever happens, I need the people behind me, and the way to get the people behind me is to get the prophecy behind me. Because whatever the prophecy publicly backs, the people will be ready to support, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's our
you guys are
choice.
basically celebrities.
What we
So
get
he's
you
like,
by.
figure out whatever you guys want to do, and I will go with it. And then, have you support me. And then once I have the people's support behind me, I will repay you with, what you need. And he has like, what did you guys need? Is like, I need gold and supplies, equipment, money, food.
God, we have no
guards,
equipment. It's
wagons.
sad.
Yeah. So
I lost
he
400
will
gold.
he will make all of your dreams come true, except he cannot return Wardstone. But he could probably get Tarika Whip even.
My Dwarven short sword is gone forever.
That's not coming back. That's gone. You guys gotta go
Dude,
see
James
if they find
Walton
that.
was so sad that we lost the dwarven short sword.
Okay.
Honestly,
so-
I think the saddest thing for Tariq was losing all of his clothes from home, all his cultural stuff. That's just he isn't getting that back till he gets home, and he can get it back, but it's just I think he's just sad about it.
So you guys leave. You finish your meal with Naren. There's nothing else anyone wants to ask Naren or anything. Nothing else. Probably the mind of this freaky fucking lord with his shadowy guard in the corner.
How long? Wait,
Whatever room
important
he's in.
question. Jack, how long is this dinner?
19
An
About-
hour,
hours.
maybe an hour and a half.
Alright, I need to do a second on-call, bro.
Okay.
So I asked Aaron. So did you? Were you born into? I wouldn't know this. I wouldn't know this. So is his particular type of position like something granted, or like he's born into this, right?
He inherited it from his father, I believe. If I remember it correctly, in my mind, I believe he inherited it at a young age, like he was a teenager
Got
when
it.
his father died, and he inherited it. The current heir to East Penrite is his daughter, whose name is somewhere. He only has one child.
I know.
You'll notice that he does not have a wife, but he does have a true-born child. So it suggests that he was at one point married.
Her name is Rekka.
What happened to his wife? I don't know.
I killed her.
Her name is
I
Rekka.
know.
I ate her.
You guys don't know.
Is he
Um,
married?
and-
Actually, that's her name.
No,
No,
it's
No,
Rekka.
you-
Naren's heir's
I ate
name is
her.
Rekka.
No,
I
think
know.
his wife was Naren.
My question for him is: so your parents knew that you were going to be a baron when you were born, and they still named you Naren?
No, he was
No.
a duke until like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
The reason they call him Naren the Baron is because he was a duke until he was stripped of his title, and people in the streets started going, "Oh, Naren is now a baron." So they started calling him Naren the Baron as like a joke to mock him.
AKA he's getting bullied by his own people.
Yeah, it's a very it's a hurtful nickname.
loser.
Right.
Exactly.
I remember this now. Yep.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. He still styles himself a duke. He says he is Duke of East Penrite and all of its rightful fiefdoms and territories. But
Got it.
technically, since he is still a vassal of
Visions of grandeur.
the Esters, he is only a baron, and so he doesn't control as much territory as he used to, and only has, for example, the rights to collect taxes within the city. He used to be able to legally collect taxes outside of the city too, and like for miles and miles and miles, because he had a fuck ton of territory. Now he's only the direct lord of eastern, like the city walls and surrounding areas and farms. So it like significantly hurt his coffers and like the men he's technically allowed to enlist into his army and whatnot. He's a little baby now. He used to be a big dog. I also kicked him out of the feudal court. He can't send envoys to the feudal court anymore.
Womp womp.
Pass me a drink, bartender. Okay, so you guys finish up with Naren and leave and return to your apartments. Anything the party would like to say to one another?
What exactly?
Here and Junie, do you want to talk about the request he made of you?
Yeah. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of
Exactly what
the
we.
people,
think Junie is a
that
little drunk
lives are
with that
gonna
request.
die, right?
Yeah, I know.
Here's the
If
thing.
we do that,
Here's the thing. I don't really want to give him this list. Because
the list?
I don't quite frankly want to just condemn people to death.
Don't give him the list. Say we looked really hard for it, and wait, no, I wouldn't say that. No.
Yeah.
I don't. Is this just
that-
Junia and Pierre? Or
Graham
are you there
seems generally a
first?
pretty honorable person, so that's totally.
I walked up to Pierre.
Yeah, Graham doesn't want
like half
Graham doesn't want them to
literally
die.
drunk and
you
told
know?
him that. I mean, on my part,
I'm not gonna
I
volunteer
can't
to be
say
the
I have
one
much of
lying
an
to him.
opinion on it, but also, it's kind of extra effort.
No,
That
yeah, no, I
be negative.
I think any amount of any argument you could provide to this is probably a good one. I don't think we should give him the list. I think we should just say that we tried.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with that.
I mean,
you know?
that's
Less
probably
work for us.
that's probably true. We'll go down there, tell him, hey man, we're not siding with you. Anyway, can we get that list of every single person who is part of your council that will completely shred every ounce of confidentiality you have amongst each other? Anyway, by the way, we're gonna take that, and I know that we're friends with Naren and that we work for him. Can you give that to us? Thanks. I don't think he's gonna give it to us. I think we'd have to steal it, which I don't want to do anyway.
We're good. We don't need to get that.
You know what?
I mean, I could
that's
try
pretty
stealing, but I'm
smart.
with Graham on this one. And also, I told Graham I wouldn't steal unless I had his permission. And also, I don't want to steal this. I really don't. So,
I would be more concerned about the murders that we would be enabling.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
Theft is also
I'm quite
bad.
happy with
Theft
that.
is also bad.
I'd
Simply
gladly
talking
keep
of it.
my mental state established just a little bit higher. Just my moral teeter-totter is just a little bit more up there now. I'm proud of that.
Glad
My
to hear it.
tater tots are top notch, bitch.
I put the prophecy first.
Junior proceeds to
I just don't want to do that.
like stumble on her own feet and just fall face first on the floor.
Classic.
Just-
You
Junior.
drank a lot of wine apparently at the
Tariq
I
is
know,
gonna help
Jack.
Junia up.
I'm gonna be
Tariq's
real with
gonna
you.
wrap an arm around Junia
I
and help her
felt
get up.
both roles from going sober to drunk. So I'm kind of and also I felt the alcoholism role, which means I binged.
Okay.
So yeah, you like took an entire pitcher to yourself and just kept filling it, and like had Naren send for a servant to go bring another pitcher of wine and open up a new like keg and
To clarify, tomorrow, me and Junia are gonna go talk to Vern and give him the bad news. Tomorrow is also is tomorrow the night of the celebration at the brew house, or is that tonight?
I have no idea.
That's helpful.
I don't
Can we
know
just
what
say
this
it's
is.
tomorrow?
You just say
Leave
it's
it written
tomorrow.
down.
Were they having like a celebration of his victory?
So quite literally,
Yeah.
your words were, "Hey man, I'm the wife of Vern. I am celebrating Vern's victory at our house. You're invited."
Okay.
This
Was
is
this at the separatist? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the separatist meeting.
feels like the
Sounds
best
like something I
time to
would
do
say.
it would be to go to
Right.
his event and
Yeah, it'll be. You know what it could even be?
Right now.
right now.
Oh.
Could be tonight.
Yeah, it's right now.
All right, bring Junior over, baby.
I like the
Come on.
concept of it being
Quality
tonight.
Oklahoma.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I like the idea of it being tonight, so then tomorrow we can all be present for the Naren meeting with
Fair
Carmen.
enough.
I think the reason it's tonight is because that's when she said to come over, and that's
No,
me
Jack doesn't remember. Jack doesn't remember.
Well, I'm just thinking about logically. The election was last night, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
They would do the party the next day, right? They wouldn't do it
Exactly.
2 days later. But
Yeah.
maybe she needs a day to prepare.
Yeah, Quinn over here.
Considering
being-
all her
Exactly.
alcohol disappeared on a single night. Now,
She should use a lot of her. You know what? It's gonna be tomorrow night. I've talked myself into it. It's gonna be tomorrow night.
Bending back.
Putting that in party modes. Tomorrow night. Party at Vern's house. Cool.
Party
All
at
right.
Vern's house.
I'm going to bed.
Alright,
I'm gonna help Junia go to bed because she's on the floor right now, and then
No,
I'm
I was gonna say that, Asher. Fuck you.
Womp womp.
I already said I was helping Junia.
You did?
Hey, Jack.
I like Asher. I like when you raise your hand with your camera to speak. I like how simple that. I'm gonna start doing that. I tried doing that too.
It's a lot more.
Camera advantage.
It's a lot more. It's not as congested that way.
All right, so you're helping Junia get to bed. Tariq can even help out too. The three of you.
Sure.
Rogue wants to do something.
Yeah.
If Rogue has noticed as well the knight standing in the corner.
Oh, you guys are back at your apartments now.
Oh, we already
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, we
Yeah, no. Roke is just now realizing it.
Well, I went downstairs for a second.
was
I
daydreaming.
didn't know if it was.
Was there something that you wanted to say to Naren or something?
No, I just wanted to roll body language in the night again because I think I failed last time, right?
You couldn't really. He's just sitting. He was just staring.
Okay,
at
you
stone
couldn't
cold.
see anything.
You
Okay.
wouldn't have been able to read anything.
Fine.
Okay. It's like trying to roll body language on like one of those guards that stands outside of the Queen's palace. It's like, yeah, he's standing there. He's doing a good job of it.
He's a happy man.
I'm gonna read his mind with body
It's-
language.
Honestly,
So-
I could roll body language on Kristen Cole and knowing that he's a fucking incompetent piece of shit.
Because
I
he's
think that's
fucking
fair.
crazy though. Anyway,
Asher, it's like the
Cole's not
Freeman
as-
guard.
That is fact.
So you all go to bed.
Holy shit.
Roke and Tariq. Roke and Tariq.
Oh,
Roke and Tariq.
Hi.
Roll nightmares.
Oh shit. Wait, I
You're
need to
both
check
at
time in.
-2
So
for your roll for nightmares.
Excellent.
oh
Close my tab.
shit.
Can I roll
I mean-
for perfectly good night's sleep?
Honestly, I
You
want.
can roll for whatever you want, but it's not a real roll.
I
You said
want-
there's a minus
Oh,
2 on this,
exactly
Jack?
what I wanted.
-2 to your roll for nightmares.
Why is
Tariq
this like the
and-
curse of Harrenhal, dude? Why
and
is
that would
it-
be a success by 0.
Shit, am I
It's
still?
usually-
His
I'm a 12.
sigil is literally a rat with a dagger in it. He is. This place is fucked up.
Jack,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm in an Insomnia episode right now.
I don't believe you. Oh,
I
do
believe you.
You're
Because
right.
2 sessions ago,
I
I,
think that
I
wrote
wrote
well.
I'm currently in an episode of
Yeah.
Insomnia, and I think I would have wrote if I wasn't.
Uh-huh.
No, it's very familiar.
No, I remember you being in one,
Okay.
and I think we should have written it down somewhere to keep track of it.
I think that's our new saying is that we should have written it down.
Well, I did.
I-
That's why I know I'm in one.
212.
Where is it in your doc?
I have it in my spreadsheet.
Oh, you're using spreadsheet now. Yeah, this. Does it say how many days are left?
I go until I don't get one. Remember?
Me.
Disadvantages. Insomniac.
No.
Falling during such an episode, I must make an HT1 roll per night. On success, I fall asleep easily, ending that episode. On failure,
Okay.
I lose 2 hours sleeps in the episode continues.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so roll. I think it's supposed to
Both.
be HT -1.
That's probably what it is. Change that then.
Mm-hmm.
HT
Yeah,
minus
do
1.
that to see how well you sleep, and then also roll for nightmares. And the nightmares roll is -2. Tariq, let me know when if
It
you
was a
passed your roll or
failure.
not.
Sorry, not failure. A success by 0, or a failure by 0. It's success by 0. It's meets it.
I have 3 alcohol-related rolls to do tonight.
Yeah, it's HT -1.
Yeah,
Final-
I failed by 3.
Oh wait, sorry, no, Jack. I'm being silly. I'm so sorry, Jack. If it's -2, then that'd be a failure by 2. If it was normal, sorry,
Okay, cool.
that was my bad. I haven't played Gurps in a while. Failure, it would have been a 0, but because of -2, it's a failure
Yeah.
by 2.
You're all
Final
good.
answer.
And Ben, did you pass the nightmares?
Nope. Oh, I didn't pass the insomnia, so I lost -2 hours sleep.
Kill
You.
We're gonna wake up
yeah.
and we're Freaky Friday'd.
How the fuck do I go to the next line in that spreadsheet? I was doing it fine before. And
Okay,
then
I'm gonna roll nightmares for you.
I got it. And then I failed nightmare.
I think if you like Damon and just wake up in the middle of the day and be like, what the
Okay.
fuck?
Tariq,
Jack?
I don't feel like recording at all. I'm just gonna let everyone be privy to the nightmare. Just your characters don't know this. I'm gonna pause the music too as I narrate it because I love to narrate dreams. So Tariq, you get into bed and you lie down, and you have a little bit of trouble falling asleep tonight. This castle is particularly noisy at night. You know, you're lying in bed, you feel like you hear water dripping at the other end of your room, and you get up to like see, you know, it's annoying you so much that you get up to see where the water is dripping from, but when you get up, it seems like it stops, and you can't find, like the source of it, and then you lie down in bed, and it seems like it's gone, and then a minute passes, and you start hearing water slowly drip from the ceiling. From the ceiling down to the ground, and it just keeps bugging you when you hear creaks, and you keep hearing footsteps walking past your door, and you get up several times to make sure that the latch on your door is still there because you keep thinking that you forgot to put it on, and you hear footsteps walk past your door, and you see the orange glow of like a torch as you see someone walk past, and it's just you finding a little bit of difficulty falling asleep, but eventually you drift into a nice, comfortable sleep, and you awake to see these you see Harmon's camp. You see the hundreds of tents and palisade, and you're like really quickly drifting from like the exterior of the outer fringes of the camp, going through the tents, and you see like all of these people are around you, and they're all faceless. You know, no facial features, just smooth skin over their face. And you see lots of them have like scratches and burns, and marks like like scars on their like faces and bodies. And you're slowly drifting through, and you eventually make it past like the wooden palisades around like the center of the camp. And as you approach it, you see smoke rising above the camp, and you drift through the gates into the camp, and you see the pink tent in the middle of the camp is burning. You see it is engulfed in flames, and that's the source of the smoke, and this thick black smoke is pluming into the sky, and you feel the heat on your body, and it reminds you of home. But you're looking around, and you hear screaming. It's muffled. You hear this muffled screaming that it's almost humming. It sounds like it's echoing off of walls, even though you're standing in the wide open camp. And you see that the flames of that the tent has been engulfed in are bright and green, shining onto your face, and you're slowly being pulled closer and closer to the flame, and you realize that it's starting to burn you as you get closer and closer until you're only 10, 15 feet away from it, and you turn and you start to try and run from it, but you feel like some force slowly pulling you in, like you're getting magnetically dragged towards the fire, and you turn. Every time you look behind you, you see it's getting just a little bit closer, and it gets a little bit hotter on your back as it begins to burn, and you feel your back begin to char.
Do I have any
as you're trying to
agency
run
in
away
this
from the
situation?
flames. Yeah, you can try to do whatever you want.
I want to just turn and face them.
So you turn the
I
flame.
want to be burned.
Oh.
I want
So
to
you
feel the
turn-
sun on my body.
You turn to the flame, and you let it just start dragging you in, and you close your eyes, and you hold out your arms, and you just feel the heat. And even with your eyes closed, you can see the green, bright green light emanating from the flames as you're being
It's like when
pulled
you
in.
close your eyes in the sun and it's like red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except now it's green, and you're being like sucked into this, and you open your eyes as you begin to feel your flesh melt off. Yet it feels sort of soothing. And
I think also too, Jack, a big part of this, just for your understanding of why I'm doing this, is you mentioned it feeling like home, and also specifically the flames being green. I think I know why you're doing it, but it also just correlates with. Yeah.
You see, like, your skin slowly dripping off as it melts away, and you see just the muscle, and even you get pulled into the camp, and you see even your muscle begin to melt and drip away until you just see your bones beneath you, and you're now inside of the tent, just engulfed in raging green flame, and you see standing in the center of the tent is a woman with long brown hair wearing a pink cape. Looks just like Carmen. She's standing away from you, though. She's like turned facing away from you. It looks just like how Carmen was dressed at the rally. And she slowly turns. It seems as if she's unaffected by the flames. And she turns, and you see that her face is also featureless as she slowly turns towards you, and until you see a mouth begin to form out of the face, and it slowly begins to expand as that muffled screaming begins to hone in, and instead of sounding like hundreds of people screaming around you, it's no longer muffled as it slowly becomes clearer and clearer and more audible, and it like hones in and focuses in on just this version of Carmen screaming. It's this ear-rattling noise as you're like knocked to the ground from the sound of it, and you're trying to cover your ears and it can't stop it. And you see the mouth growing inhumanly long, or opening inhumanly wide, you know, up to where like a normal person's like nose or eyes would be, down to her chin, just screaming and howling. And you eventually begin to see, like, you see her pink cape catches on fire, and her clothes burn, and her skin begins to melt and drip off, and then you're shot awake in a cold sweat. Roke Frazier.
Hello.
You also have nightmares tonight. I get to know.
Yeah.
You have extraordinary trouble falling asleep, just like Tariq. You keep hearing people walk by, and you're just not comfortable in your bed, and you put your covers on, and you get too hot. You take them off, you get too cold, and
Me for
rolling
real?
around, moving your pillow over to try and get back to the cold side of the pillow, and it's hot in this castle in the middle of July, in the dead of summer, in the center of the continent. And you just can't seem to get any peace until you don't even realize when you fall asleep, until you're just engulfed by darkness. And you wake up, and you are also dreaming of Carmen's camp. But you're already within the Palisades, and you're walking around happily, and you see, the sun is shining, and it's a bright, beautiful day, and it's Carmen's camp, but it's a bit different. You see, like, there's trees in the camp that aren't actually there in real life. and there's birds flying from one tree to the next. You see a mother bird bringing worms to its babies, and you see butterflies fly by, and you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, and it's just a very beautiful, warm, sunny, happy summer evening here in the camp. And you see like children run by, like two naked children run by, and they like jump into a stream that's also not in the real camp, and they start like playing and splashing water with each other as their mother like briskly walks to catch up to them and tells them to stop, and kneels down and begins to wash them. And you're walking around, and it's just, you feel this like comfort and this warmth and the sense of belonging that you haven't felt in a long, long time. And you eventually realize that there is someone familiar sitting underneath one of the trees reading a book, as she so often did. And you recognize this woman from your past. And you see her, and when you see her, you begin to lucid dream. You realize that you're in this dream, and that you're dreaming right now. And you're just filled with this immense guilt and sadness at the sight of her. And you can feel yourself begin to tear up at the sight of her, knowing that you failed her. And you begin to walk over to her, and she looks up to you and smiles. And you walk up, and you know this isn't real, but you like to believe, to at least experience, it's nice to at least experience this and to see her again and to see her smiling again. And no matter how much you'd like to believe that this is reality, you deep down know that this is just a dream that you're having right now, but you're appreciating it nonetheless. And as you get closer, and reach out your hand just to be able to feel her skin one final time, and just like to remember what it was like to be able to touch her face, this familiar scent suddenly hits your nose as you blink, and within the blink of an eye, her neck is open and blood is gushing out, and she's already dead. You see the life has left her eyes, and the pages are soaked in blood. And in another blink, with every blink of your eyes, as you slowly rush forward to try and save her, with one blink she's dead, the next she begins to rot a bit, and the next, with each blink, days pass as she begins to slowly rot, and your nose is just filled with the stench of death. And you hear that familiar laugh that you heard so many times when you were adventuring, of the man who did this. And as you hear him laughing, you feel heat as you blink again, and you see the tree is engulfed in green flame, just like in Tariq's dream. Bright green flames. You've never seen fire that's green before in your life. But you remember that man from your past, the one that did this, told you about green fire once. And you hear him laughing all around you, and you're looking around, and you unsheathe Fjallraven, and you're looking around to find him, and you're digging through the camp, trying to find him, and going into tents to try and find him and kill him. Even though you know you're dreaming, you just want the satisfaction of killing him. And you see, as you begin to march around the camp, the fire is spreading, and it's people are catching flame, and tents are catching flame, and the green fire is slowly sweeping over the camp as like a plague sweeps through a city. And you always feel like you're right behind him, but he's always just a step ahead of you. And you keep hearing him laughing, and it gets closer and closer, and once and you're so certain he's in this tent, and you open the flap and there's nothing in there but fire. And you're just running around until you know that it's fruitless. And eventually you just look down at Fjallraven and know that you need to leave this dream, and that it's hurting you too much. And you take it and you sink it into your own heart. And then you shoot awake in the morning, feeling perfectly unrested. Just had an awful night. Alright,
Holy
gang, let's get back to
shit.
Gurps.
Holy fuck.
Hello.
Check. It's actually crazy that you had that last part where I stabbed myself in my dream, because that was how I was going to ask you to wake up. I was going to say, like, you're saying, like, you want to leave this dream. If you didn't continue, I was going to say, can I stab myself? Holy shit, that was a good dream. Not
I would say that's a good
Rolls,
dream.
rolls nightmares. Oh man, that was a great dream. Where's the fucking mess?
Oh,
That was a good dream. That was cool. I got to see that. Yeah, I got to see her one last time.
I also just want to note, I don't think that this affects anyone but me, because it's a very internal thought, but I think that Tariq's one thoughts, and this is not to do with anything with you having a woman in your dream, Rogue, but I think that Tariq is just having this thought of the person who would always comfort him when he had nightmares was Nikki, and she's gone.
Yeah, Niki's
And he
dead as
just really
fuck.
wants to go home.
Yeah.
I think Tariq just really wants to be home.
Just stabbed. Smile.
What if that woman in my dream was Nikki?
Niki got brutally stabbed.
I wasn't conscious when that happened.
Jack, I need to ask you something.
Mhm.
Is the guy who you were mentioning in my dream, were you saying he told me about Greenfire because he's a Westerling?
Yes.
I
Okay,
hate
that's a
Western.
mix-up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's a
He was
mix-up.
studied on Westerling.
I'll have to
He was
explain it
studied.
in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I can.
We'll have to discuss it. What you
I mean, we can
I
just
know.
switch it after. It's not that big of a deal, but that's okay. I just want to make sure you pass one. Thank you. Anyway,
Okay. So, you guys are awake. You will wake up, you do your usual morning routines. Anything specific that someone would like to narrate or do or say? Yeah, Siri?
I want to, whenever the party meets up to discuss plans for the day, Tariq wants to get to Carmen. Tariq is very curious about that Westerling now that I've had that dream. And Tariq doesn't really mention the dream, but Tariq's like, hey, last time we were there, I was supposed to talk to Westerling. It didn't really happen. I need to talk to them. It might be nothing, but I'm having
I'll go
a
with
hunch,
you.
you could say.
I'll go with you. I told Naren that I would deliver a message for him.
Roke has an internal thought, fueled by the rage of his dream, I guess, that he's like, kind of wanted to ask around for a name that I know. And then he's like, yeah, I don't think I have time to do that. That's all.
Also, I would just say too, especially Pierre and Junia, since you guys, I think, were probably closest with Tariq in previous arcs. Like, it's Tariq's definitely has his "I had a weird ass nightmare last night" face, which he occasionally wears.
Got it.
Go ahead, Asher.
How about we all, before we go leave to do our things, let's all eat breakfast together in the hall. And I'll go wake
Let's
Judy.
go,
maybe
I'm
even-
sure she's hungover.
Okay. I'm gonna sit down with Tariq, and I'm gonna. I mean, presuming that I notice that something's
Yeah.
up, I'm gonna just ask. I'm gonna be like, hey, is everything all right? You seemed off this morning.
Sorry, who? To Tariq or Roke? Sorry.
Yeah, Tariq. I'm just feeling. Yeah, you seem really preoccupied. Your head somewhere else. Something on your mind?
Graham, remember? You would remember this for
Oh
context.
yeah,
but-
no, I remember. I
Graham-
remember this. Yes.
Graham, do you remember in the Dwarven caves, do you remember what color my torches were?
Yes, they were green.
Yeah, that's...
Context, baby. Let's go.
There's a very specific chemical, you could say, that makes that flame. It's called ghoul. I think I need to speak with the Westerling at Carmen's camp. I know I often put a lot. I know I often put a lot of weight on religious or dreamlike things that maybe not all of you subscribe to. but I just want to check in on something.
If you think it's important, we should check it out.
I had nightmares again. They were more vivid than some of my... This one wasn't... I have recurring ones, certainly. Oddly enough, a really recurring one is Pierre drowning me, which has happened more than once.
Graham doesn't laugh. Graham doesn't laugh. Oh,
But this one was new and different, and it was very vivid. It felt a little too much like home, and I just want to check in.
I'm sorry. We should do that for you. We should check in with your family as soon as we can. Check in back home.
My family, I don't know if we're even gonna see them once we cross the Western Wall, to be honest. We might see my half brother. He's in the city. I think I should take you all to, but
We should get as
I
close
don't know
as
if
we
I'll
can.
see my family for a long time.
Where's Rogue standing during this conversation? Is Rogue
You're
close
all
enough?
walking towards the dining hall,
Me
where like
included.
all of the feasting happens, to have breakfast with. Most of the guards have breakfast here, and all the staff. You all wake up and have breakfast every morning here, around like 7 a.m. And Naren usually breaks his fast here. He sits up on the dais with his counselors usually, and talks with them as he eats breakfast.
I love that you called them staff and not
Sorry.
courtiers.
Let me rephrase. Is Rogue close enough to Tariq's and Graham's discussion to hear green flame mentioned?
Yes.
I'm not hiding
Yes.
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 Hide.
Yes.
Multiplayer dreams.
it. I'm actually
Holy
being
shit,
really secretive.
multiplayer dream.
You're
Wait, say it in character. Say it in character. We gotta get session moving.
Alright. So Rogue's gonna wait until Tariq and Graham are clearly finished talking and just kind of walk up to Tariq and go, I'm sorry, I heard, did you say green flame? I didn't know
Yeah, green
fire could
flames
be
are
green.
Westerling. Yeah, no, they can be. It's actually it's kind of funny. I certainly have seen natural flame, but I'm far more than orange. It's really funny in his laundry that sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Green flame is something that a lot of Westerlings use. There's a specific some of the we make this thing called ghoul that burns a lot brighter. We use it to make a lot of weapons and these goggles that we wear to protect our eyes from the sun. You can use it to melt sand and darken it, and it also just creates a brighter flame.
Sounds fascinating.
Yes. I'm hoping once we cross the Western Wall, I might be able to find a cache of it. It'd be a good resource to have. Why do you ask?
I've never seen I've never seen green flame before, or only heard about it once or twice before, but I happened to have a dream about it myself last night.
That's funny. I was dreaming that Carmen's camp was on fire. As odd as it sounds.
Does sound very odd, yes. What are you laughing at, Jack?
You can make it happen. It's Pierre, I think.
I should show the picture that you keep flashing me.
What do you mean? You think everything
It is pretty funny.
Oh wait, yeah, I should open everyone's.
It's
You just keep silently holding that up to the...
Every time someone says green flame,
Anytime anyone
he
goes
holds it
green
up.
flame, he goes. Okay.
Beak,
Ready to move on.
have you ever heard of multiplayer games?
What does multiplayer mean?
Anyway,
Didn't Tariq premonition the arrival of Rogue?
yeah.
Okay, you're You're like Danny's the dreamer.
Tariq has also talked to someone.
It is confirmed that if you have a dream of like your homeland burning or some shit like that, you're screwed. You're cooked. Your family's dead.
And Tariq's actually talked to a specific figure in meditation before. It's not unheard of for Tariq to have weird shit happen in his stuff. Anyway, Rogue, do you genuinely ask in character? Do you ask in character about multiplayer dreams?
No, I did not ask. The conversation ended where you told me about your dream.
Testing something. Blue
Yeah.
flame. Doesn't work. Got it. Okay. Oh shit!
How do you pull that up in half a second? Anyway,
where did that come from? How'd you get that?
It was so fast. It was so fast.
It was like the snap of a finger. He was like, "Yeah, blue flame. Here you go." Yep, had it right. I had that ready. He's got like a folder in his camera roll that's like different colors of the fucking high tower.
What were you saying, Rogue? I think that you had a really interesting point.
yes, my dream was also Common's camp, but it was strangely different. I'm not sure why.
Was
But
everyone
anyway.
faceless?
They were the same.
No one was there.
Huh.
Wink, wink. But anyway, I was so curious about this green flame.
I think we have to get to Cartman's camp soon. If we're both having... Sorry, I dropped a pen on the floor I've been fidgeting with.
You look like you're actually like urgent.
Let's run.
I think that we need to move. I don't want to eat. I want to see what's... If you're also dreaming, I want to see what's going on.
We're just gonna slowly look over at Julia.
Sorry. Junior arrives, between the two and puts an arm on each of them's shoulders. You know, I also had a pretty good dream. I was waking up, I ended up like it was a big field of flowers. It was really nice in the middle, surrounded by a nice forest. There wasn't like a big building with marble pillars like reaching up to the sky. It was amazing. And there was this old guy with a white beard who was like sitting like Junior sits on the floor and just crosses her legs. He was sitting like that, and he had his he had his two like hands up, and he had like fucking he was producing wind from them. It was really cool.
Good job.
Thank you.
Julia,
you guys want to hear my actual dream from last night?
Now we gotta get the session on the move.
Not during session. Julia, that is utterly fascinating. I think that Carmen or other people in that camp may be in actual danger, and I would really like to get there.
Now, you mention it. I also no, I'm joking. Yeah, we should probably skip the breakfast for now.
No.
Yeah, Tariq
Fuck
is
no,
getting
dude.
anxious.
No skipping breakfast.
You need food.
Me and Tariq are gonna go.
Fine, you know what? You
Yum
fuckers can skip breakfast.
Can
I'm
I
not.
take a
I'm not skipping breakfast.
Can I
I
take
just
an actual
grab, like,
second
a
to go
piece
eat
of
food?
fucking-
Yeah, I'm grabbing a muffin or something. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
You
feel
all
like
step into
Graham
the-
and I
Hold
go
on.
to like the continental
I'm gonna
bar
actually
and
go
grab
grab
a
food really
muffin.
quick because it's 8:30 and I haven't eaten.
Session's about to end, by the way.
Fuck, I'll go after then.
I thought you had like another hour.
It might end. We'll see what happens. So you all step in, and Naren,
I'm gonna see it burning in flames.
you see that the table that Naren's eating at a different table than he usually eats at. He usually eats at like this small, circular like stone table at the top of the dais, with his counselors. But he's sitting at like this long table that can fit way more people than usual, with his counselors around him. But there's 5 more seats set at the table, 5 empty seats and no more. And you step in, and Naren looks down, and he raises his hand and like waves and goes, "Hey, I've saved you all a seat at my table. They're back here fast this morning, and gestures out the empty seats.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm gonna go
Thank
sit
you.
down.
Everyone's so excited. Everyone loves narrative.
It's just
I feel
He
like
didn't tell me he was
is,
gonna
like,
implicitly kill
silently-
anybody.
Yeah,
I feel like Tariq is just
Tariq
like
is just gonna slowly walk backwards out of the room as they do that and see if we can just avoid.
no, I feel like Tariq is just like without acknowledging anything, just walking up and like cutting a piece of bread, and that's like for his breakfast, and like trying to socially like walk away again.
It's like that anime girl who just has a piece of toast in her mouth and she wants
Exactly.
to. That's cool.
Tariq's doing that right now. He's like,
Okay.
I know I need to eat something, but I am so anxious to go. Like, I need to be moving.
Okay, yeah, you can cut yourself off a piece of bread and you can start to leave if you'd like.
Yeah, Tariq.
Graham's gonna just like not even enter the doorway, just watch as Tariq does that, and then leave with Tariq.
I have a piece of bread for Graham as well.
Let's
I do
go.
a little. I hand a piece to him.
The two of you leave to head towards Carmen's camp.
Naren doesn't question. This is great.
I mean, he's gonna ask us.
SMH, they're missing the best. The
Wait. Are they leaving?
Mhm.
I had a great
They
idea
left
that I really wanted to
Yeah.
say. What if, like, since Tariq's so, like, scared about, like, fire and shit right now, it'd be so funny if, like, Graham saw, like, a traveling, like, performer with, like, a stick of fire, and he goes, like, holy shit, fire! Tariq, like, freaks out. Is it not funny?
It was freaky Gurps, and instead of rolling dice, you rolled freaky dice.
Balls.
Thanks for the green fire. So, the three of you sit with Naren.
I
He
actually go get food.
he looks up to the three of you and he says, so how are the three of you doing on this morning?
I may have drank too much.
You were downing, I believe, I was keeping count, I think it was 6 goblets of wine.
I've seen her do
I
more.
haven't seen
Weak numbers.
you drink that much in a long while around here.
This is sorry. Yeah. My
It's all good. I appreciate you taking advantage of my hospitality. Honesty like that is hard to find nowadays. And you, he gestures to Pierre. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm just taking it one day at a time. We have not had much of a break for a long time.
Mhm. Would you like a day of relaxation, perhaps? I could fetch you a bath, perhaps supply you some money to
It'd be
head on
selfish
to
of me
town,
to
maybe.
accept such an offer, and I suppose I'll have to turn you down, unfortunately.
Okay.
Maybe
Well, if there's
done
anything,
with work.
I refuse to be anything less than the most gracious of hosts. So if there's anything that you would like, feel free to request it of me. The worst I can do is say it's not within my power. Unless, of course, you want to ask for your payment for your our arrangement. In which case, in Penrite, we pay after the job is done.
Yep.
But
Can't blame
anything,
ya.
anything. And gestures to Roke. How are you doing on this fine morning?
Want to see a magic trick? No. Yes.
Yes.
Roke's gonna. All right. Roke's gonna like reach into his pocket and take out the 1 copper coin that he's had for the 1,000,000,000 years he's been alive. And should I roll sleight of hand? Like, is that how a magic trick is?
Magic tricks.
Yeah, you can roll sleight of hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I roll sleight of hand and just show him like a magic. Well, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand first.
Yeah, roll sleight of hand. We'll see what happens. You're entering a contest of sleight
Okay, I
of
got
hand
a
versus
7.
his perception.
I got.
What's that a success of?
Sorry, let me check. Advantages of skills. Sleight of hand. That's a success of 3. Hard skill.
Okay. You take the coin and you keep like closing your hand, opening it, and it keeps showing up, like in a different finger, and you keep like passing between the fingers, and eventually you close your hand and open it up, and it's not on any of the fingers, and you turn over your palm, and show that like it's nowhere to be seen, and when you closed your hand, you dropped it down your sleeve very sneakily, and then opened it up, and it was much faster than I'm demonstrating right now. It was and close your hand, boom, it's gone,
Hell yeah.
and you just make the copper look like it disappeared. Naren sits, and at first it seems like he doesn't know when he's supposed to react, and he seems unimpressed, and then it seems like it kicks in. It's a rare moment in which it seems like you can tell that he's being fake, in which it kicks in and he's like, oh, I'm supposed to smile here, and he goes, very nice, and he gives a fake,
No.
disingenuous smile.
Holy shit. That's so
Talking to a 12-year-old.
embarrassing.
Very nice.
Good.
That was.
Good job.
Where'd you learn to do that?
Just picked it up on my own. I suppose I could use some more practice with it, though.
Learned at a magic school?
No, Junior, I did not go to magic school, but thank you. But I am doing just wonderful this morning. I just need to make sure I catch up on some sleep soon.
Yeah. My castle is yours. If you need a nicer bed, anything.
Can I sell you a
most
castle?
honored guests. Where the other two of your party?
Urgent matters.
They had dreams.
Yes, I see. And what are these urgent matters?
They are
you don't mind
speaking
my
to a. Actually, I don't know.
And as you're about to answer, a man walks over. You see, it's a man with he's dressed in all black with a cloak with the hood. And the hood is behind his neck. It's not pulled over his head. And he walks over and he leans down. He's got long, shaggy brown hair, and he starts whispering something in Naren's ear. And his eyes widen, and he shoots up and he looks over. He looks up, and you hear him say, "Is Carmen alive?" And the man looks down to him, and says, "We do not know."
Oh, fuck, man.
Oh my god, your extreme
See
is
what I'm trying to
true!
keep grabbing freaking Tariq here.
Can I roll selfless? Can I do two things? Can I roll perception to pick up on the fact that is Carmen alive as a statement that something happened, right?
No, you heard that. You heard him say.
Do I
Naren
pick up?
loudly said that only for the people, his counselors, and for you to hear, and his
Yes.
guard.
I'm asking because Roke has selfless, right?
Mhm.
Would Roke pick up on that and say some shit just went happen, and Tariq was saying something was gonna happen? Maybe I should go. Or do I not put that together in the puzzle?
You know that something bad has happened to Carmen, but you don't know any information yet. So.
No, that's not what is true. I've said Tariq was saying to us, right, that something was going to happen. He wanted to go, right? Roke heard that, and then Roke hears, "Is Carmen alive?" Is Roke going to put together that something might be wrong with Carmen and get up and go to where Tariq and Graham have gone?
Oh, you want to go run and get Tariq and Graham? Yeah,
Yes.
you want to say something to Naren before you go do that?
No, I just want to get up and leave.
I'll
Alright,
stay
Roke,
with.
Roke stands up and
Junior.
begins to bolt away.
Pierre's still kind of confused by what he heard uttered by Naren. Completely confused. No correlation at all.
Wait, I'm
And
gonna
then
switch.
Just watches fucking Roke bolt and is completely stunned, just like, what is going on?
I thought I was the crazy one. Sometimes.
Naren, what is going on?
Yeah, the messenger has left by now, and he turns to you. Let me go fetch the other ones before I say anything.
Yeah, of course. Can I?
You can come if there's anything to record. I don't know.
I mean, I guess we'll figure out.
I think he's
I
fine.
just don't
Is
think he
everyone come
looked
to the
that
camp?
good. I'm
Like,
gonna
what's
be so
happening?
real.
What's going on in here?
We're talking
Yeah.
about Baldur's Gate,
Yeah, how did you all get here?
So
except for Ivan.
you guys are about to leave the castle. You guys have left the physical castle itself and are leaving the walls that are around the castle. I'm about to leave the grounds, and the gates are slowly opening. and you hear footsteps quickly approaching behind you, and you turn around and you see Roke running full sprint towards you.
Good. Like, does he say anything? Does he say run, or does he say something?
Roke left to get food.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
did he say something? No. God damn it.
So anyway, I think that Gortash is just an ugly
Yeah,
motherfucker,
Gortash
and I don't
is
like
not.
him.
Roro.
Gortash is good looking. He's fine.
I understand.
man.
Okay, like
He's underrated.
I just
And he's
dude,
emo
no,
in
he's
that.
not.
Can we go back? Can we
you know how
continue
you were
the other
joking
thing
about
then?
like
People
Oh,
like
sorry, what?
Gortash.
dude,
Well, I
people
don't know when
draw
we're
Gortash, especially
I
with
love
Dirge. There's a lot of Dirge in Gortash.
I believe it. Well, because he wants to rule the world with you. It makes sense. That's why.
Can I give a minor a Dirge? Can I give a Dirge spoiler? Because I played Redeem Dirge on my run.
I mean, sure, I guess. I'm gonna play Dirge eventually, but...
You can say no if you want. It's not.
No, go for it. If it's minor, go.
It's like implied that you and Gortash were like a thing, and I just remember I got to that dialogue and I looked at this ugly NPC and I was like, no. And then from there on, it was my life's mission to utterly destroy that man.
Oh,
But a lot of
It's
people like
so
the
easy. It's so easy to screw people over in that game. It's so funny.
Uh-huh. No, there's a
So
lot of Gortash lovers out there, man. Like your people are out there. They're just not me.
Your people.
It's a really
I
bad
don't
time
think
for Ben
anyone
to leave.
Gortash is young or handsome, as
Yeah,
he's often
he's
described.
Gortash reminds me word for word of Ramsey Bolton.
No, I know, but he reminds me of Ramsey Bolton, but like without the fucking disgusting rapist stuff.
I mean, he's not just a rapist.
He's
Ramsey
literally
Bolton.
he's the chosen of the god of tyranny, which is like
Yeah,
the one that's gonna be the most fucked up.
He's like a slaver, isn't he? Like he's he's a bad person.
Literally,
Oh,
I'm not
cool.
saying he's not. I'm
The
saying
resemblance
that
is
they just have
uncanny.
him on screen doing like disgusting things to another character, a beloved character. Like that was so uncomfortable for me. I'm sorry.
don't
I
yeah,
hate
like I hate. He was the villain that got once again like he's a good villain, but part of him being a good villain was I actually
I
despise
don't
him
even
in
know
game.
if
Like
Ramsey is a good villain. Like Ramsey just sucks. I hate Ramsey.
I think Gortash is a decent villain. I think he's like an intelligent villain, which makes him annoying in certain parts of Act
Is
3.
Ramsey Bolton in what you guys are talking? Are you guys talking about Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Baldur's Gate
Let me
3.
clarify.
Yeah.
Ramsey Bolton
Yeah.
is not in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes, he is. He is.
You know who we hate? We hate Wilburn Bongle. Have you met Wilburn Bongle?
I fucking
Me?
love Wolverine. Wolverine's so funny.
No!
He's an asshole.
Wilburn
He's such an
sucks.
asshole.
Jack, don't worry, I don't get it either.
He's such.
This is a huge whiplash for me. I was not ready to go from what I just heard to this.
I know. I'm so ready. We're right at the end of the session.
Waiting
I've been-
for
I feel like I'm getting edged right now. This
What
is
did I
awful.
miss? What did we miss?
Roke is running at you. That's all you know.
God damn it.
We're waiting
They're
for
about
Rose.
they're about to be like, oh, they're about, like run. They're about to shut the gate and kill.
Okay. Everyone chill.
Yeah,
Everyone chill.
Naren's like, I had enough of your shit. I'm getting myself a better prophecy. If I kill you guys, I'll probably maybe a new prophecy will pop up and it'll be a better one.
Yeah, because that's what happens in this world when your inevitable prophecy fails and people die. Just new people just pop up out of fucking nowhere.
Eventually, the prophecy will be invoked again at the Imperial Tavern, right? And then eventually it'll succeed, and that was the real prophecy the whole time. And all the other ones were just fake.
fucking Star Wars, just like fucking Star Wars.
God damn
I'm
the fucking
joking.
sequels.
I'm
If
joking.
you wanna
And
rip
Star
my
Wars
eyes out.
technically.
The prophecy wasn't actually about Anakin; it was about Rey Skywalker, of course.
Yeah, this is what it is.
The prophecy of Awakening wasn't about these 5 guys; it was about the other 5. Yeah, what if the ending of the campaign is you guys get to the Westerlands and you're gonna wake the God Emperor from his tomb, and you find out there's another prophecy that's like 3 steps ahead of you, And you
And
you,
no,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
go to the
And we
wall,
kill
you're
them.
like, "Oh, hey,
We
guys."
kill them, and we take their place.
That's what you guys just learned is that the God Awoken Emperor is awoken now, and fucking Jack's like, let's wrap this campaign up, motherfucker.
This is over. There was a
Yeah.
different prophecy, and they were better than they were faster than you.
And Penrite is the end game.
It feels like we're in the end game, man.
Yes. No, it feels like we just started.
I've been playing this shit for 2 years. Anyway, let's continue with the end of the session, which we're so very
Rogue
close to.
not here.
Is Rogue not here? I swear, Rogue. I literally heard Ben arrive.
Ben
Yeah,
is here.
pressed as fucking shit
Oh,
now.
oh shit. I'm bad. I'm dumb. Let's go.
I was having tacos for dinner, and I go downstairs and there's no tacos.
That's
I decided not to
depressing.
make it. Like all day, I was ready for this.
Oh,
I would have
No!
made
I
it.
can feed you with Gurps.
Yeah.
So, Graham and Tariq are leaving the castle grounds, and Roke, you are sprinting towards them madly.
I have bread in my mouth.
I also had bread in my mouth.
Roke, what do you say to them? They stop and they turn towards you.
Huh?
Wait, they're going to the camp?
They are
Yes.
leaving the castle grounds right now. So you weren't here for my initial narration. I kind of sped over it. The gate is like slowly opening right now. They've just had someone begin opening the gate, and they're about to leave like the grounds of the castle.
Oh. So I gotta run up to him.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, Rogue's gonna run up to him, like, kind of out of breath, probably. And just be like, Tariq, I think whatever you were saying earlier was... You were right about something. I think something happened to Carmen.
I start sprinting towards the camp.
Yeah, I told you.
As soon as the doors are open enough, I start sprinting. Like, Tariq is... Like, I don't even think Tariq has a mask on right now, actually, now that I think about it. I think Tariq just takes off.
I'm running after
A
Drew.
piece of bread falls into the ground.
Mine's still in my mouth as I'm running.
No,
Alright,
Tariq,
You
Tariq just
slip
starts
through the
scrolling.
gate and begin to run away. Or Roke, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just keep running.
Tariq is gone.
Okay, you start
Tariq,
running
as soon
with
as
them.
the gate is open enough that that 18-year-old body can squeeze through, Tariq is gone. Like,
Okay, back to public.
there's the Westerling
Pierre and Junia.
sprinting.
God damn it! They just don't want the info.
You should have made them roll
Oh, sorry.
for running and
Oh,
hope broke.
I'm all for player choice, especially when they're bad ones, because then I get to just, get to laugh as you guys. There have
Can't
been
wait
so
for
many
it.
times. My favorite part of GMing, it's a lie. It's actually my favorite part of GMing, but I love GMing. And when players make bad choices that I know are bad, but I have to hide it. When all 5 of you agree to do something bad, and I just sit there and I go, "I'm not a player. I can't tell them why this is bad." Like there was the time where you guys all met in the tavern to discuss which faction to align with, and you voted to join the Separatists. And I remember when that whole thing was happening, I was sitting there and I was like, well, they're talking about this and they can do whatever they want, but they're about to meet with Carmen. They should probably hold this vote and discussion after talking with Carmen. But all 5 of you went, yes, we need to do this.
I'll be
right
real
now."
with you.
And I've listened to that episode twice now, and every time it happens, I go, they really didn't need to do that right then, because they immediately
Yeah,
went to
we
Carmen
did
afterwards
not.
and immediately revoked on their decision.
I mean, I'm
they spent
still,
30 minutes
my
talking
vote is
about-
still separatist. I'm
At
not
the end of
allowed-
the day, we might be going separatists anyway.
Okay. So the 2 of you are sitting in the fucking at the dinner table with Naren and or breakfast table with Naren and his counselors. And yeah, Pierre, what did you say to Naren?
I told him, Naren, what is going on?
He leans in and like all of his advisors and counselors have their eyes have widened too. By the way, just to clarify for your little mind, sorry to flash you like
What
this.
a interesting
Um,
angle of your
That's
armpit.
a beautiful armpit you got, bro.
Thanks, babes.
You, at least you chose
He
like,
has
the two...
he has 5 counselors.
Okay.
And then there's also like his captain of the guard. So there's really 6.
Me and Ivan are
John's
part of the
usually
small
sitting at 2.
council right now.
Anyways, yeah. So there's the 9 of you are sitting at the table. and he has his guards and stuff too. But he leans into you all and says, "Apparently, a fire broke out at the camp last night. Apparently, it was. I've never heard of this, and I have no confirmation of the truth of this. This is just a report from one of my agents. But apparently, the camp was engulfed in a green flame, and there were heavy damages and heavy casualties.
Green
and like
flame.
you heard, we
Isn't
have
that-
no idea what happened to Carmen.
Green flame. That's a Westerling thing, right? With Tariq. And
Tariq usually has one.
and the sword at the Grey Wolf Tavern, that was also green flame. That's Westerling fire.
Alright, yeah.
Naren perks up when you say this and goes, "What do you know about this Westerling fire?"
I know very little. I know Tariq obviously knows much more than me, but it's a substance that only, I suppose, Westerlings know how to make. I've only ever seen it in the hands of Westerlings, both Tariq and a Westerling that we killed back at the Grey Wolf Tavern as per the start of our quest.
You see, he like closes his eyes, and you just see like the visible stress and frustration on his face, and he opens and he looks at you and says, "And where is Tariq?"
Not here now. You saw them just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, we're talking about having a dream that Carmen's camp was on fire.
Pierre looks at you as if you should not have said that out loud.
It's fine. She is literally hungover. She does not think as
Like,
much.
just
I have
the-
8 IQ.
No, it's good. No, Ivan, no, it's good. But you get
Okay,
the
yeah.
glance. You get the glance.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, characters are allowed to make mistakes. It's perfectly. It's good roleplay.
Yeah, but she has 8
Um,
IQ. It's great.
The small council hall is silent. Everyone has. There's no
Everyone's
words to
silent.
be said.
Okay. So he goes, "Yes, I just saw him a minute ago, but where has he gone now? Why is he not sitting here with us? What does he need to attend to so urgently that he cannot break his fast with his lord, with his duke?"
Pierre is like, for a moment, submissive under the authority of Naren. And he just perks up and goes, "My liege, I don't know."
We'll go find him.
Yes.
He perks up and he turns over and he goes, "Flay," and he stands up and he turns to the hall and he calls out in this booming voice that you haven't heard from him. He's usually been pretty timid and calm, and it echoes throughout the whole hall. And as he yells out, everyone there's plates clattering and forks and knives scraping on plates and people eating and talking and laughing and whatnot, having this big old breakfast. And he calls out and everything's dropped. Chairs move as everyone's comes up to attention as chairs scrape on the ground. As people, a lot of the guards stand. People jolt up. You hear one woman like scream in surprise, like one of his couriers, like some noble lady. And yeah, he just stands up and he booms out. He goes, "Flay!" And it just like echoes off the hall in dead silence. And Flay's like eyes light up as he's just like, what? He's like standing halfway at the other end of the hall. There's probably like 60 to 80 people in here. And he stands up and he calls out. You see, he's like dressed in regular clothes. He calls out like, "Yes, my lord." He goes, "Accompany these 2 members of the prophecy to Carmen's camp immediately." And then he sits back down and begins cutting it like a slice of ham, and puts it in his mouth. And he looks up at the 2 of you, and he says like, "Well, are you going to get moving?"
Yes, my lord. And Pierre just kind of
Junior's
like
"God damn it! I'm just
Pierre scrambles over to Junia's chair, like pulling it out for her and helping her up to her feet.
I don't want this in the morning. Okay,
Yes.
let's go.
Flay will accompany you. He's accompanied you before. You already have chemistry built up. Go figure out what the fuck is happening. Go figure out where the hell Tariq went. Go figure out if Carmen is alive. Don't talk to Vern yet until you know whether Carmen is alive or not.
Yes, my lord.
And report back to me.
Will do.
I do a military salute.
And the two of you leave.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna lose Naren's favor. He's like, what?
Yeah. Why did this happen?
You heard Tariq. She
I mean-
described. He described a fire, a burning flame.
Why didn't they say they had a Westerling over there? Wouldn't that make sense?
I think I recall the information that there was another Westerling in Penrite, specifically near the camp. Do you think they did it? I mean, they must have, right? It's not.
I mean, it's the only explanation.
What if Tariq?
I mean, let's be honest.
Well, okay, but
Tariq lost all his flames, didn't he?
Yeah, you're right. It couldn't have been Tariq. Why would I think that?
Silly Cooper.
So
let's get going.
So you guys are walking with Flay. He meets up with you, and he's walking. He's like, "What's going on? Why are we going to the camp?
There was an incident at the camp. Some sort of flame that came over the camp and I'm guessing destroyed it. We don't know if Carmen is alive. I'm guessing that Naren wants answers. We think that it's a Westerling who must have done it. It was green flame, which is, as we know, Westerling flame. And we know that our comrade Tariq didn't do it. So our mission now is to capture the other Westerling and find it and see if Carmen is still alive, and also retrieve Tariq. That is our mission. We go find Tariq, capture the Westerling, see if Carmen is alive. Those three things, we go return to Naren.
Broken ground probably already caught up to Tariq, I would assume.
Right. Well, let's get there as soon as possible. I'll take you to the stables.
Oh, bet.
Do either of you know how to ride?
No.
I wouldn't be able to ride it myself, I'll be honest.
Either of you know have horseback riding?
I don't have horseback riding personally. Can I request that we bring an additional man, possibly Jarlin?
Yes. Not Jarlin, but you can have another man.
Alright, cool.
Perfect.
You know what?
What?
He'll send Jarlin.
Fuck yeah! Yes. I'd like to think that he, Flay, I want you. And, just out of the corner of my voice, I ask, my lord, can we also ask for Jarlin? We have close connections with him.
He goes, fine. He consents. And so the two of you are led to the stables. Jarlin gets his personal horse. Flay pulls out his personal horse.
We could ride
Pierre is riding with Jarlin. Junior is riding with Flay. And the two of you ride out of the castle at breakneck speed on horseback.
Fuck yeah!
Trotting through the city.
This is terrible.
Oh my! I want the
You're
plot.
riding
I want the plot where we find the Westerling. We're gonna capture him, and Tariq stops us. I want the plot.
Bro!
Ram, Roke, and Tariq. You're all here, right?
Waka Waka, Unger Bunger. We were talking about jobs and how I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
You should tell us what you were supposed to do.
No, yeah, I won't tell us.
No, I actually, the stuff I'm doing is way more serious than I realized it was, and I cannot talk about it.
Susie has the nuclear launch codes, guys. They're all stored in Vermont, actually.
No, here's what I can say.
No one would have ever suspected that.
Here's what I can say.
You know
is really annoying.
You know, the Milan facility? It's a front. It's just a bunch of nuclear missiles.
Here's what I'll say to be really annoying about it. I do data entry at JP Morgan, which is a bank. I'm not doing bank information.
Okay, 100%. You are part of some sort of drug cartel.
You're doing.
Dude,
all right,
I was
guys.
telling Quinn about the
insider
security.
trading.
The security is wild.
I'm sure. See,
No,
I want
I had 2
to be
days-
the
I
guy
had
that makes the
two-
security.
I had 2 6-hour days of orientation. The first one was only security stuff. The second one was actual training for the job.
Evil. I almost got a data entry job, but then Baker like bumped up my pay. Anyway, back to Gurps World.
Is Ben here?
Roke is
Graham,
not here.
Graham,
Ben's
Roke,
not
and
here.
Tariq
Ben's not here.
are-
Ben's not
Asher,
here.
maybe Asher, do not share my job details on YouTube, please.
No, it's fine. Ben's not here, by the way. We have to wait.
What?
Ben is not here. We have to wait.
Anyways, Tariq, you should tell me all that info, just
I
so you
can't.
know. No,
I can't. I literally legally cannot.
Ivan's not in the country though.
They don't
I'm not in the country, so it's fine.
Also, the only reason Susie's probably not feeling great about sharing it is because she learned that they have like access to everyone's Discord logs and will be able to.
That is true. You're
No,
right.
I actually could be harming like livelihoods, so I'm not going to.
I cannot wait to
You should
post all
only
of this.
say about the corporate.
No, Asher, no!
Sorry. I was not expecting to have to
Okay.
make dinner myself tonight.
Okay, cool.
That's
Sorry
fair
about
enough.
She's
Gonna get me fired and put in jail.
We could
It's
stop
just.
here.
that. I don't want to
It's
stop
not-
here. I don't want to get edged. I've gotten edged so far. You cannot. I've been pushed. A plot line has been pushed onto me that I want to get a little bit further in.
Hold.
Okay.
Hold. I need to ask this right now. Who is free this coming Monday?
I work 8:30
I'll be in
to 5.
Montenegro, bro.
Yeah, Ivan, you said you can play Gurps while you're on vacation.
I think I'm free.
The thing is,
That's the high towers.
for the first few days, I'm probably just entirely busy.
Okay. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because I have my day off for it.
Like by Friday next week, I think I'll be fine. But for the first like 4 to 5 days, I'll just be busy with other stuff.
Did I miss anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
We just started. Okay, go, Jack, narrator.
I'm looking for something.
Okay.
Tariq be running through the streets without his mask on.
Tariq,
Terrible
Tariq
idea.
And, Tariq and Roke and Graham are running. They're at a brisk jog across the whole city to get to the outskirts of the city to get to the camp. And as you are running, you hear the clatter of hooves behind you, and you turn around and you see, as you're walking down this busy street, 2 horses darting around citizens, being driven by 2. You see the heavily armored Jarlin, the captain of Naren's guard, and Flay, another one of Naren's guards, but he doesn't have his armor on. He's just dressed in regular, like, civilian clothing. And they're riding at you, and behind them, riding on both of their horses, behind Jarlin is Pierre, and behind Flay is Junia. There's 2 people on each horse as they're trotting towards you. They're not trotting. They're sprinting towards you.
Graham knows how to ride, right?
Yes. Or maybe, I don't know. Do you have the skill?
I have a riding skill, but not for horses.
No, never mind. I don't even need to look. I know that that Ford did not give Graham a riding skill.
I don't think anyone knows how to fucking ride a horse in this party, which is gonna be.
I know how to use a boat.
Yep.
I might have it
The only
added.
person. The only
I might
person
have
that
it-
might be able to
No,
ride a
I have
horse.
riding. I have riding, guys. Holy fucking shit! I put it
go.
on. It's one of the things I added.
Let me see what my riding is. 1 second.
It's one of the things I added. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I
I have riding 11, but it's not for horses, so I don't know how that defaults.
It defaults to -3, I think.
Yeah, you just had that ready.
I'm pretty sure it'd be
Yes.
your riding skill -3.
Yeah.
So I have riding 8.
I mean, it makes sense if you can ride like a camel or a fucking seal dog. I'm pretty sure you, or like a giant
A
worm.
camel? What do you mean? That definitely wouldn't be it.
So okay,
If
The
it's
2
if
horses
it's camel
arrive,
riding, it's
and
100%.
they stop
equivalent.
trotting as they catch up to you, and they start walking alongside you, like trotting next to you, lightly. The
As
horses
Tariq's
are-
running.
Do I have to,
Working up a
roll
sweat.
to get on, or are they like stopping for us?
There's no room to get on.
What, the person with one person on a horse is too much? Are
So
you
if they're
telling
running
me?
after
No,
us
3 people
and
on a horse
something,
is too much. There's 2 people on each horse.
okay, are they stopping because there's nothing wrong? Like, wouldn't they keep going?
One guard.
No, they're stopping
Yeah.
next to you.
Yes,
Fine,
but wouldn't
I'll
they
just
keep?
still run. I'll just still run then. I'll just keep
But
running.
something's clearly wrong. So why would they
I
stop?
don't know. Don't talk to the fucking players. Don't ask me.
Don't worry. There's logical reasons behind things happening.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not stopping until
Someone say
tells me
something.
to stop.
Someone do something. I can't make
Tariq.
you speak.
Is that them?
Yeah,
Where the horses are going?
Jarlin, Flay. That's Tariq right there. We also look for the other one, nearby the camp. Tariq, Jarlin, should we have them sent back to the castle or have them come with us?
Tariq's like breathing heavily, and
Yeah,
like I
what
think
is
this is where Tariq actually realizes that his mask is off, and so he has like that anxiety spike too. And it's just like, Pierre, I'm trying to get to the camp. I can't just stop, and I start like I don't go back. I get back into like a speed walk, and I'm starting to like. Yeah.
So I'm waiting on Jarlin's response.
I'm thinking about Garland's response.
Our AI DM is
Yes,
proper.
we should all return to Naren. Yes, they should return to Naren until we have more information. He turns to you, Pierre. He turns to Flay. He says, and he turns down to Graham and Tariq and Rogue. He says, the three of you should return. The three of you should return to
I don't know
Naren's
what's
castle.
going on. Tell me what happened. I want to go check on Carmen. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, I'm
There's-
going to the camp.
There's been a fire. We have no idea. Beyond that, there were heavy casualties. We do not know if Carmen is alive or dead.
Okay, we're going to
We-
the camp.
He's dead, and I keep running.
Yeah, we just keep going.
Tariq!
We just keep going.
What is it, Pierre?
Who has access to Westerling fire? The green fire.
Your mom. I don't know. Why would I know?
I'm not talking
No,
to you.
Tariq, not Graham.
Tariq, not you, Graham.
West? I don't know why. I need to
I
get
was
to that
green,
camp.
apparently.
The fire was green. If it wasn't you, it was the Westerling you were talking about.
I'm getting to that camp, and I just keep walking.
They're an enemy of the state.
I'm not. Are you going to arrest me, Pierre?
We
I
have
think
to
that's
capture
racist.
them.
I think that's racist assumption. No, seriously.
It's proven.
What? How is what proven?
We-
Because
if it-
something.
if-
Alright, because green fire comes from a certain
We
culture.
have never
and
seen
things
green
like-
fire ever in our lives until we've seen a Westerling.
Oh wait, did they
I just-
show us green fire?
Yes.
First session.
If you're
It was a long time ago. First session, a Westerling began slaughtering people in a tavern with a sword that was engulfed in green flame.
Okay, no, I'm
and
sorry.
Tariq
I'm
torches
sorry.
before we
I'm
lost
sorry,
everything.
You're being racist. No, I'm standing by
No,
this. You are being.
I'll
racist.
stand by too. Yes, I am.
Here,
No. You're
but
being
you're
racist.
saying
That's your only
that-
evidence. I don't
Here.
buy that. they're the-
Jarlin says
questioning,
we're
we should
wasting
get
time.
questioning,
Okay,
but they're
okay,
not.
we have
automatically
21 minutes left of session. Stop. Jarlin says we're wasting time. We're gonna go right ahead and report back to Naren and receive further orders from there.
All right,
and
go ahead. And then I keep going.
Jarlin and Flay ride ahead of you, and the horses begin jolting forward to the camp.
I'm rushing behind them to the camp,
Me too. I'm sticking with
Yeah,
Jerry.
yeah.
Me too.
and I think I'm also just getting more anxious by the fire, and also my mask is off, and it's all just happening, and there's a lot going on.
Oh jeez.
Man, it's annoying having you guys around the camp at 2 different times.
Mm-hmm.
This is bullshit. We left, motherfucker.
You guys
Yeah,
should have just
we
had
have
breakfast with
course.
Naren.
The same thing would have happened, Jack.
I mean,
You're running.
Oh, you would have all gotten there at the same time.
Wait, why aren't we not here right now in the same place?
Yeah, but they're on horses. Horses are faster.
But you said Jarlin and Flay ran. Our
fucking horse. You said
Pierre-
there was one that just had a guard on it, and I tried to hop
Yeah.
on that one, and you're like,
are
"There's no
Pierre
room."
and
There were 2
Junia
horses.
still riding?
One horse has Jarlin, one horse has Flay. Jarlin's horse also has Pierre. Flay's horse
Okay.
also has Junior. There are two people on each
The
horse.
third time
Out
Jack
of
has said that.
curiosity, why did they come up to us and say go back to Naren when they're going to the camp?
You have never asked. You didn't ask that in character.
I'm
so I've just been
guys
sitting
all
here. I'm
left.
so confused.
What is this?
You all left.
Let's just go to the fucking camp or go where you're going. I'm going to the camp.
Yes, I'm going to the camp. Okay.
Yeah, Tariq's in a full sprint as
So-
fast as he can go.
Does anyone have a running skill?
Yeah, no.
Believe it or not, that's a skill. It's a dumb skill, but it's a skill.
God damn it!
we
I
didn't
don't.
take that one, but
I
The
steal
three of you that
someone's
are running,
horse.
the three of you that are running, roll HT.
I got it. Yeah, running.
I want to say mine's just the average. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 10.
Oh, I also need to fix my
failure by 1 again. I've only rolled 12s today. Literally
Oh,
rolled 3 12s.
What am I trying to hit?
HT minus 5 if you don't have
Try to
it.
get 10.
Oh, never mind.
10.
Which have roll HT.
Let's go! I hit 10!
Wait, I have hiking. Does that count?
No.
So. It's like King Kong is running.
Okay, but why does it not count as hike as
There's
So,
no default.
running when my hiking skill requires less?
The three. Okay, so Junie and Pierre, you arrive at the camp first, no matter what. So you get there, and you see that it has received. I need to turn my AC on. I'm burning up. Severe damages. The exterior, like the exterior of the camp, the part that's not in the palisade, seems perfectly fine. But you ride past people. You see people running towards the center of the camp with supplies and lots of medical supplies, bringing buckets of water. You see people like dragging people outside of the camp, and you see like people delivering medical care and running around. You see some other clerics that you've never seen at this camp before going around. You spot clerics wearing their bright pink robes are easy to spot anywhere, right? That's by design. You see like 3 or 4 clerics running around and helping people and offering medical care and talking to people and helping carry things. You ride towards the center of the camp, and you see that there has been severe damages in at least, just at a cursory glance, at least half of the interior of the camp has been burnt to ash and smithereens. And Carmen's tent has also been reduced to ash. You do not see the pink tent anymore. You just see like little shreds of the pink fabric strewn about the camp and like being blown through the wind. I'm just reading my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, okay. So you begin riding around. And as you guys get inside of the tent and start looking around, Darlin turns to you, Pierre, and says, "What should we be doing? What should we be doing, sir? What are we looking for?"
Okay, so Carmen has a pink cape, similar in vein to the clerical order's pink robes, but it's just the cape. She didn't wear any other notable clothing, from my understanding. That was her tent, and Pierre points to where the remnants of her tent was. Search the grounds, maybe the perimeter, maybe Flay can see if there's a path that leads away. But we also need to find proof of how the fire started. Ideally where the Westerling went.
Right. Flay speaks up and goes, I'll start asking around I'll ask if anyone's seen Carmen or where she is. And the two of you split off and just start investigating, and Flay begins riding up. Junia should kind of hold on and not throw up, or pass out, or explode. And you're just riding on, holding on to Flay's hips, just Fuck, dude, how the fuck did I end up here? I need to stop. I need to get help. This is not healthy. It's just, I keep getting into situations like this. My drinking is a problem. And Flay's calling out like, "Where's Carmen? Where is Carmen the healer? Has anyone seen her?" And a man looks up and says, "She's outside of the palisade. She's out helping. She's providing medical care."
She's alive, thank fuck.
And Jarlin and Pierre, you hear this, and Jarlin brings the horse up and rides over. And Jarlin looks down and goes, "Have you seen her?" And the man looks up and goes, "I saw her out there. I haven't seen her in a little while, but why do you need her? What are you looking for her for?" And Jarlin just wordlessly turns his horse and begins trotting out, and Flay follows behind. And the two of you are trotting around the exterior of the camp, looking to try and find Carmen. Graham and Roke and Tariq, you arrive around this time, about maybe 10-15 minutes after they have, and see exactly what I've described. And as you get to the center of the camp in like the wooden palisade, you've even seen like half of the wooden palisade has been burnt down, and there's even still like smoke rising from rising and like little green embers flying around. And you see some people like running with like buckets of water, like putting out any like little bits of ember, or like any little things that are still burning. And you see a man running with a bucket of water, actually, and you see a man like put another man put his hand on the man that's running his chest and stop and be like, "You fool, stop bringing water. We already figured out it doesn't work. Water doesn't put this out." And he goes, "What do you mean? It's fire. Water puts out fire." And he says, "Not this fire. This thing is evil." And the man stops. "Evil fire, man." And the man stops. Is like, and they're just arguing and bickering, and then you ride off and you keep investigating. And eventually the five of you meet up somewhere within the exterior of the camp, the encampment, and you see like people with like severe burns being brought out that are like groaning in pain, or like unconscious, or even screaming and receiving care, and like being bandaged and taken care of. But many others, there's not enough hands to go around to help all the people that are injured, and many others are just like wounded, just lying like with like you see one man lying, his arm has just been like burnt to like a crisp, and just like just black and charred, like his arm has just become a limb of charcoal rather than skin and flesh.
We should start going around putting people out of their misery.
Cool. Pierre, roll IQ.
Okay. That is success of 3.
Dirt.
You have the idea that Carmen is probably dressed as in her cleric robes, and that you should start investigating the clerics. You communicate this, and the two horses begin riding out, and the rest of you split up and you start talking to all the clerics. And eventually, one of the people in pink robes you arrive to is Carmen, who is taking care of this. You see like this young child that is unconscious and has like several like splotches of burns of like varying intensity on his body. And you see like he's just like lying unconscious. He might even be dead on a like on a rag, and Carmen is like pressing around to find a pulse. And you see there's like a woman like kneeling next to her, like holding the child's hand with like her hand like white knuckled over the child's hand. And Carmen keeps pressing to find the pulse, and looks up to the woman, and she just closes her eyes and looks down and shakes her head and says, I'm so sorry, he's gone. And the woman just begins wailing as the fucking the seven of you slowly approach to the sound of this woman wailing. And Carmen stands up and turns and is like taken abruptly at the sight of two guards on a horse standing above her. It's Junia and Pierre on the horse as well, and the other fucking three of you standing behind the horses. And you see that there's Carmen's face immediately. It looks like she's been up all night. She's very tired. You see like bits of her hair has been singed and burned, and you see like bits of her like robes are burnt and missing, and there's like holes and scrapes. And you see there's like cuts. There's like one of her fingers is like bleeding and like dripping blood. And she has all sorts of like scrapes and cuts on her. And like bits of like her face, like her cheek has been burned a bit. And she just looks exhausted, and you see like there's her eyes are like red. It seems to have been from like crying. And she turns to all of you and is taken aback and goes, hello?
Tariq instantly, where is he? Where's the Westerling?
Walks in front of the horses. What, Rock?
Teeth.
We don't know. This was his work, wasn't it?
Tariq leaves instantly.
These are
Tariq
racist.
is not a part of this conversation anymore.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm gonna follow Tariq, but before I leave, I'm say these are racist assumptions. I don't think this is. And then I go to follow Tariq.
Is Graham actually saying this, or is this
Yes,
you?
Graham is actually saying
We've
this.
got a new SJW in the party, guys.
No, it's fine, and it can
Coming
be the
of
truth.
Nicky.
But Graham's just pointing it out that it's not like it shouldn't be guaranteed.
Racism
to
doesn't
be
exist in the
one.
medieval ages, Graham. I know what you're talking about.
We are jumping. These are hasty generalizations, I should say. There you go. Do you like that?
It's
Yes, I like that better.
There you go.
And so where are you running, Tariq?
So what I'm doing is I'm making my way through the camp, and I am speaking purely in Westerling, trying to get, like, I'm speaking in that language so that I just need to find that one person in the crowd who hears me and knows that I'm a friend. Like, that's what I'm doing, is I'm running around to as many places as I can and just yelling in my foreign tongue. I'm probably saying something along the lines of, like, I'm a friend, what happened, let me help you, like, knowing that I have Graham as well, I'm probably trying to see if Graham can find a safe space to pin down, so that there's a place I can go. Like, I think that Tariq's Tariq is not worried about the Islandrians here.
Tariq just wants to talk to another Westerling.
You might have lost your chance, bro.
Okay.
You might be dead.
Well, while Tariq is gone, I respond in his stead when Carmen asked if it's his work. I respond, most likely. Anytime we've seen green fire, it's been a Westerling that's been doing it.
One fucking time. I'm sorry. I'm mute.
One of one. Actually,
Sorry.
sorry, no.
Actually.
2 of 2, yeah, because Tariq
Yeah,
lit a
2 of 2.
torch with green fire and then talked to us about it.
Yeah. So it's 2 of 2.
Guys,
Process of elimination.
I'm telling you, if this was real life.
Carmen puts her head on or her hand on her head. I almost said head on her hand. She puts her hand on her forehead and just like rubbing. It seems like she's trying to rub the stress out of her skin. And she says like it was a nightmare. It began in the night, and it spread so fast. And we tried using water, but it wouldn't put it out. It would only spread it more. And I barely got out of my tent, and it just spread so fast and killed so many. And she stops and she looks up to her camp, and you see her gazing at it wistfully. And she's, my camp, it's gone. And why would he do that? Why?
You must pay for his crimes. And that's why we were sent here. To ensure that you are alive, to find Tariq, and to
Nope.
find him.
Motivation, we're just like fucking like.
You're not here, Graham. You're with Tariq.
You're actually
Shut up.
not here.
Garland turns back to you, Pierre, and says, we should report back to Nara and that we know more.
Yes.
Can we try to look around first to see if he's around? Arbitrator, that is.
Garland stops and says, yes, Flay will stay here with you. Me and Pierre will return to the castle. And they just start trotting off.
I drive.
And but right before he starts trotting off, Carmen turns up and goes, "Excuse me, please." And he stops and he looks at him and he goes, "Yes, yes." And she walks up and she looks him in the eyes and she says, "If Naren wants my help and wants my support, he needs to send aid here. He needs to help us rebuild." And Jarlin looks down and says, "I'll pass on the message," and turns up and begins riding back to the keep with Pierre. I think that's a good spot to end session. Personally,
I'm fine with it.
So
because
fucking
I'm going
angry that
forward.
we're not gonna play again for a while.
Yep, not for another year.
It'll be a week.
Yeah.
It'll be at least a week and a half.
Hey, Jack.
yeah,
That's all I gotta say.
I have a question for you.
yeah.
Because I got really curious when we were talking about the green fire. I was like, why the fuck is fire green? Is green fire something that you came up with very early on?
Yes.
Did you
Before
also
the
get
campaign.
the name Esther from Green Fire?
No.
You sure? That's really funny.
Esther,
You know
I
why?
took the word east and I moved the letters around a little bit and got Esther.
You know what's really funny?